Alright, just getting set up here. How's everyone doing? If you're watching, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be the last stream of the year, I imagine. Looking ahead at my schedule for the next week or so, I can't really see any other time I'd be able to slot in a stream. But thank you to everyone who voted for me to round out the year with some Pathologic. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to go for. It'll certainly be less time than I was originally planning. I was originally going to make this a big sort of marathon thing, but there are a few errands to run at this time of year. So maybe we'll go for, say, 3 or so hours, 3.5 hours. We'll see how we do. Boo, skip to the sex. I wish, is there a cheat code for that? We really need a way to fast forward to those sections. Chapter select, the one where after me and Danielle are both in bed. Despite all the Pathologic I've played, I don't remember a cheat for that, but I would really appreciate just if you had that just on hand, Haruspex playthrough. I wish I had thought of that. Me kicking myself for the rest of the day now. Alright. Where were we? We're on day 4. It's been, a couple of months since I played this. So we'll just deal with Haruspex's terrible hunger pangs that we're seeing up the top right of the screen there. It always reminds me of the day that I played Pathologic for so very long, that when I finally stood up to get some food, I could swear I saw the hunger meter in the top right corner of my vision, and I think that was when I knew that I had to stop, I had to step away, because that's probably, I feel like that's a danger sign. And yeah, these Haruspex, these Pathologic playthroughs in general are sort of funny things because they take me so long to get through on stream. It's so hard to find the time to sit down and play for a long enough amount of time that I can actually justify getting through at least a single day. We're only on day 4, and as I recall, Haruspex's playthrough gets quite difficult. It's been a little while since I've made it through the whole thing in the original, but the various tests that you receive, you have to be really prepared for. I'll just take these. So I'm not sure how much I'm looking forward to that. Ooh. I feel like the knife just phased out of existence. Thoroughly engaging combat never fails to stimulate. Alright. Got a decent amount of money here. Just give me a second. My controller here rumbled when I was hit. I don't really need that to fall off the table while I'm playing. Has anyone tried to play this with the controller? That's a unique experience. Mainly because it technically has controller support, but not very good controller support. So you're using the tiny little cursor with an analog stick to try and select things in your tiny little menu down the bottom of the screen. It's weirdly entertaining for the first 10-15 minutes, and then when you actually need to do something of any consequence, it becomes the worst thing in the world. I can't remember if Pathologic 2 has controller support or not. I don't actually think I ever tried to play it with... No, it must do. I swear I played through the Marble Nest with a controller, which I remember not being too bad. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually finishing Pathologic Classic HD, sort of having all of that just in the channel, historical archive complete, and then we'll be able to move on to Pathologic 2, and then on to Pathologic 3, I suppose, when that comes out. I feel like I discussed this at the start of this playthrough, but I was considering, yes, playing through Pathologic 3 blind on stream. I'd at least like to start it blind on stream, but, you know, as I said, I just had that whole thing with saying I didn't have any time to play anything for long enough, so I guess we'll see how long Pathologic 3 actually turns out to be. There was this implication of temporal stuff going on, that we'd play with the mechanics of time, so maybe the campaign wouldn't be as long as Pathologic 2 or the campaigns in here. Hey Future Cityscape, how's it going? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. Still feeling a little sick, unfortunately. Just a bit of a blocked nose and a vaguely sore throat, so you know, I'm just sort of staying on top of it. Also got some errands to run, so I'll see how I feel. I'd like to stream for as long as possible, but yeah, we'll see how we go. But I'd certainly like to make as much progress as possible, so that I can, you know, knock something out before the end of the year. I still feel pretty guilty I haven't been able to play as much of anything as I did last year, but it has been good to, you know, I finished Changeling, didn't I? I finished Siren, Blood Curse. I played a few games, started a few games, played a couple of strange horror games. Just finished up on holiday stuff. Hopefully you don't catch anything, and hopefully all your relatives don't have to deal with that all during the holiday season, because yeah, I know how much it sucks to be laid low at this time of year. Well, any time of year really, but this time of year when all the socializing is really expected, it feels particularly cruel. Just gonna save the game here. Picked up too many bottles to lose all this progress now. Okay, it's Notkin that sells the map, and Artemis one, isn't it? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And yes, I'm also hoping that this blocked nose and sore throat is like just a temporary thing that will pass pretty quickly, which is why I'm playing Pathologic, which should make me feel, obviously, a lot healthier, a lot better in comparison. Sort of hard to imagine being sick, you know, like, no, I'm feeling perfectly fine, actually, after looking at all these bloody rags on the ground. But yeah, no, it's been good the last few weeks, because I've been allowing myself to have a break from what I've been researching, so it's sort of felt, obviously the pressure hasn't like totally lifted, it's rather just been like shifted to the back of my mind rather than the front, but it is a nice, how many of these can I pick up? Only one. Is that rat following me? No, I'm just paranoid. I'll take the infected heart as well. Just leave them with a watch, that'll do it. But it has been nice to start to do some creative stuff again, and start to properly work on and edit a few scripts for the channel that I've been wanting to produce. Also started to play through what is it, Resident Evil Village again, just in the hopes I'd find something interesting enough to make a video out of. Completely revamped your study habits, fabulous. Really thriving with your new system, shifting between that and binging Book of Hours. Well, I do need to play that. That's sitting installed on the computer. Thank you for that, but haven't yet played it. But I am glad to hear that maybe we're both slightly less stressed. That's good. I'm hoping, early on next year, I'll be taking a break from study for various reasons for about 6 months. And during that time, I would love to just pull out all the stops and say, okay, here we go. We're going to do a lot of really cool stuff for the channel. We're going to start making a game. We're going to start writing a novel. All these things. We're going to produce a lot of stuff. I'm really hoping. After about a month of just lying down and doing nothing, all these things. I got all these things planned, and I'm going to hold myself to that. Studio announced the third game of the Cultist Simulator franchise. Looking to be a Disco Elysium style CRPG. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. We could always use more of those. Although I haven't played... I started playing a few CRPGs, I suppose. I picked up a bunch, and I've subsequently put them all down. But I'm going to pick them all back up very soon. I hope. But that's always the problem, isn't it? Playing games like that are so substantial and require you to be really focused, is that when you don't have the energy, when you can't focus on them, they sort of feel more burdensome than they should be. I'm going to buy this lemon. I won't rival the amount of lemons that Clara had, but you can at least make a start. So much junk actually that's coming up that I could actually use. I'll swing back to Artemis' hideout and drop some of this junk off. But yeah, I'm trying. So that there's a short list. I think most of what I want to play desperately next year was in the poll that I released on YouTube. So I'm interested, obviously, in finishing this, moving on to Pathologic 2 and 3, as I said before, but also wanted to finish playing at least one campaign of Fear and Hunger, probably 1 and 2 at this rate. And then I also wanted to play Silent Hill 2 again, maybe play through Silent Hill 2, the remake on stream as well, if my computer can actually handle it on stream. And then I also wanted to play through a couple of Resident Evil games, because one of the big gaps in my survival horror, backlog, I never played the original Resident Evil 3. I ended up playing the remake, but I never played the original, whereas I've played most of the other original Resident Evils. And for whatever reason, that one's always passed me by, and I've kind of, for a couple of years now, been saving that to play through blind on stream. Just as, it feels like one of the few sort of major classics that I haven't played and that I could sort of document my first time reaction to on stream, which I feel like could be fun. I'll put this blood in here as well. I say casually. I've got 35. I've killed a lot of robbers already. I feel like what Pathologic does really well here is this feeling of repetition and home, as I discussed regarding the convenience store. You enjoy Resident Evil 3 speedruns the most out of the whole franchise? I feel like I looked into Resident Evil speedrunning at one point, and that was the one that kept coming up for some reason. I think because everything was so random, as far as I understand. I know basically nothing else about the game. That's the extent of my knowledge. That and Nemesis shows up everywhere. And a bunch of stuff was cut out of the remake, which everyone was disappointed about. Which is why I'm so curious to play the original. When you play it, the remastered Silent Hill 2, you have to let me know what you think of it. Because I do think quite highly of it. Definitely much more highly than I was expecting. I always had hope for it, but I ended up enjoying it quite a lot. I just wish there was a bit less fighting in it. It's really the main thing, because that disrupts the scares and the pacing a lot for me. Too much combat is a big problem with that game, but it's about the only substantial problem I can think of. Got to the hospital and tapped out or chickened out, but I love the parts of it I got up to. The other world hospital is probably the one sequence in the game that like dragged for me. Where the game started to drag, and then yeah, like I sort of felt, I was like, whoa, this is too much fighting. This is really painful. Yeah, I should probably do my next playthrough on easy. I was gonna start another playthrough offline. I suppose in the coming days. It would be nice to play it through again. And so I played it through one and a half times now. But I stalled that other playthrough, so I might as well just restart and soak it in again. But yeah, what was I saying before? This like idea of like mundanity and like homeliness, I think, like has come through in so many horror games that I've played this year, and the best ones do this really successfully, where they create gameplay loops that can be destabilized, or where things happen that you weren't expecting. And obviously Pathologic as a series, both this game and Pathologic 2, they do this really well, right? With the market fluctuations and all of these things that, particularly if you played a lot of video games before, a lot of video games of this style, you'll be surprised by. Eurogamer calling it, Oblivion with cancer, and their review was funny, but like also quite apt, because if you played Oblivion is a very interesting game, right? I played a lot of it. It's probably one of my favorite games still, like from a nostalgic standpoint, just because I played so much of it, and there's a lot of silliness that you can get up to, obviously. But at the core of that game, right, there's had you not seen that before? Yeah, it's a great phrase. It should have been on the back of the box, or on the Steam page. Pathologic Classic HD, otherwise known as Oblivion with Cancer. Yada yada yada. It's really good. But Oblivion, right, is this game which has a static market. You're always getting more powerful, but so are the enemies. So the whole world sort of exists almost in static. All the NPCs have their routines, and I know Bethesda like coded it so that they'd sometimes have like different activities or reactions depending on like disposition towards you or towards other NPCs and these kinds of things. And this granular detail was like a lot of fun, but ultimately like the game didn't really have the capacity to surprise a lot of the time. Not in the way that Pathologic does, right? Like Pathologic's surprises. Are you serious? Bane of my existence, these rats. See, this is a surprise. But with the market fluctuations, all of a sudden the routine is disrupted, whereas in Oblivion, routine was rarely disrupted or challenged. And obviously that's what makes like a good horror game to some degree, I think, is having this routine sort of pushed back against, right, like destabilized in some way, which is why the first day of Pathologic is so important, because it sets the tone for the rest of the game, right? Like, okay, here's the baseline off which we're operating. We're still managing our hunger. We're doing all of these things. And then the game starts to become more and more complex and more difficult. And as it does this, it starts to raise or lower prices. It starts to increase the number of infected districts. So you have to start like changing your routes and adjusting your plans for the day based on the letters that you receive. All of these kinds of things. And ultimately, it's a mundane horror, really. Like the notion of things changing, of the world like breaking out of what it used to be. And obviously change is often uncomfortable, and I feel like that's what a lot of horror games, a lot of horror narratives are sort of predicated on, right? Is this kind of bizarre juxtaposition of the most boring stuff you could possibly imagine, and then, in the case of the convenience store, which I played last week, like a ghost lady turning turning your manager into like a undead spirit, and banging on the walls and the doors. And it's that moment where the routine is subverted that I think you're placed at your most vulnerable. Because often a gameplay loop is comforting, right? Like that seems to be the inherent quality of a lot of games, is that once you get settled into it, you can find comfort in it. And ironically, of course, that's what's happened with me and Pathologic to some degree, is that this is one of my comfort games, as silly as it is, because I've sort of seen through a lot of what the game is trying to do with its like changing markets and these kinds of things. And since I know it's scripted in advance, I can adapt to a lot of these things. I know the strategies by and large. I might have forgotten some of the little finer details, but once you have the larger strategy in mind, you're okay, really. You can get past a lot of the game's challenges. But those first playthroughs of a game like Pathologic, I think, are really precious, right? Because they are actually challenging you and disturbing you and making you feel frustrated. And I think I talked about it a little while ago, but there was a wonderful little reading I did, which argued that, obviously the idea that games are unfun, or games should be unfun, or have the capacity to be unfun, this is something that, we understand, that's sort of implicit within like the discourse of a lot of games media these days, is that games don't just have to be like entertaining all the time, but often we do play games because we seek this sort of mastery, this like ability to achieve things. But I read this article that was basically arguing that like an unfun game is challenging these sorts of societal norms, and in a way sort of queering the actual experience of playing a game, is that all of a sudden we're not within the boundaries of... We're not within like previous boundaries, that's what I'm trying to say. My tongue is getting tired here as I like talk myself in knots, but what I'm trying to say is that Pathologic has these systems in place. That's the importance of Pathologic simulation, right? Is that all of these elements are simulated, but then there's a moment where each element begins to break down. And in the case of Pathologic 2, I think it's even more extreme, because Pathologic 2 has more robust simulation. And the moment in Pathologic 2 where time itself begins to speed up, or when you realize that's happening, I think late in the game someone spells it out directly to you, right, is that time is speeding up. And there's just a number of really unfair tricks that Pathologic 2 in particular starts to pull on you. Pathologic Classic, the one I'm playing now, does that too. But it's these crushing moments of that was unfair, or this game world itself is literally breaking down, like the routine is no longer functional. That's what I find so interesting, which I think is why I played another sort of gap in my horror library. I played Doki Doki Literature Club for the first time a little while ago, and I really enjoyed it, much for the same reasons that I've been talking about, right? Is that the game sets up this mundane framework, and you go through this looping process, and all of a sudden that gets disrupted in really shocking ways. And I think that's, even if it leans a bit too far into the shock horror for my tastes, sometimes it gets a bit silly, there's still something really compelling about having mundanity smashed like that, and in a way, queering the game experience, because you're not having any fun. And surely, aren't games supposed to be fun? No, they don't have to be fun. And that's something, I think, it's a realization that was sparked by Pathologic for me. I was so interested in Pathologic from the moment I played it. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the game I've been waiting my whole life to play. Like, where has this game been all my life? And this was, 7 years ago. And I was so fascinated by what the game had the potential to do, and the feelings it was bringing up in me, because I remember walking around, this central district here, just for hours and hours and hours, doing these same actions again, looking around, scavenging, and I was so, like lost and frustrated and angry, and things just didn't seem to be going my way. And yet, inside all of that, I was enjoying it because there was this, feeling of newness, of novelty. Games weren't supposed to make you feel this way. Like, if you were feeling that way, that's a bad sign, right? Like, I remember playing, again, so say in Oblivion, if you were being killed over and over again by a certain monster, that's frustrating. Like, that's a frustrating experience. That's the kind of experience you want to avoid the player having. And then when Pathologic was deliberately provoking these feelings in me, like, I had to grapple with that. Like, why is that? What's coming to the surface now? Like, what sort of designer would do this? And that's really what's made me interested in games that think outside the box, obviously.
I see.
Is this realization.
I smell smoke. Are they burning trash again?
I love this facial expression. It says so much about the game. It's just perfect. Can you imagine? The Skinner's district is completely empty. No disease there anymore, like there's never been any. Weird, right? Sticky is on cloud 9, no doubt about that. I'm worried about him, though. Interesting. What does the district look like now? Marauders all over the place. Houses are still standing unlocked, just like they were yesterday, so they're grabbing what they can. Bet they're going to gang up together soon. Killed a good fellow not too long ago, they did, and Rick's big brother as well. That's who I'd like to go to war with. Why so bloodthirsty? It's not blood, but justice I'm thirsty for. They go around killing people, and evil must be repaid with evil. We'd love to go there, but there's business to be done. Now I'm worried about Sticky. He wouldn't think twice before crossing them. Have you thought about giving them a thrashing? There's a good chance I'd end up as the thrashee. They say they've got these totally awesome crowbars, nicked them from the works. I can offer a bounty on every marauder, so I announce publicly. Whoever brings 4 marauders' crowbars will get, well, I'll reward them, that's for sure. An intriguing proposal. Consider it accepted. Is that all he has to say?
Heard?
Yes.
Bandits are cutting people. They want that shit.
Arming up as well, aren't you? Well, have your scouts charted the town? It's a bloody deal. 3 dead barbers and the map is yours. Bring me their razors. Yeah, no problem. What kind of a payment is that? It's all in the interest of the scouts who make the map, Barak. They're being threatened. They get killed by precisely those people, the barbers. Get it? We have a deal. Cool. That's just nice to have the map on us. It just makes things easier, right? That's something as well I wanted to look into. Something I'm interested in is, like the cartography of game worlds and how we relate to space through, still through physical artifacts, still through maps and these kinds of things. Even these digital spaces, we're still navigating them in much the same way we would a space in the actual world, right? Okay, what am I doing? I need 4. We can try and get 4 crowbars. Except I don't have any ammo for my shotgun. I don't think Bad Griff will sell them for any reasonable price, but I can always go have a look. I don't think I've gone to see him yet. Have I? It's up to me? I don't think I have. I surely would remember such an auspicious meeting. Let's see what we can do. But yeah. There's so many games that do interesting things with the rules and subvert and break their own rules to get to the player in some way. And I guess that's what interests me about horror, because the best horror does that in such a way to show that they have mastery over their own system, like they understand how their own game works.
Cut his own throat.
As silly as that sounds. You look like a man not to be picked on, don't you? Heh. We'll do some rooking and swindling here and there, we will. But let's not be enemies. Thieving is more honourable than killing anyway, if you ask me. You must hold a different opinion though, eh? Who are you? Heh. Ain't they been telling you all about good old Bad Grief? The kingpin and king of thieves, the stockman in chief, the smuggling master. Well, the robber rings are there too. No, they haven't. Well, that's me. Welcome to our lair. We're up to some smuggling, we are. So everything that's prohibited, you can find here in great supply. You be careful there, big man. Buying stuff off of us harms you in a way. If anyone finds out, they won't trust you anymore. Thanks for the warning. Is that like a defunct feature? Similar to the food itself being infected? I don't recall buying stuff off Bad Grief and noticing my reputation went down.
Yeah.
Is this something that actually happens? That's all I needed. Got me cornered. I need weapons. I don't actually think you have shotgun shells anyway. You don't. Well, never mind then. Guess I better go trade for some. But I do, yeah. It's kind of funny how Pathologic has sort of become part of like my own personal story. It's like the turning point where I'm like, oh, video games can do that. No, that doesn't happen. No, I didn't think so. Thank you. But I wonder, in Pathologic 2, Artemi has a voice line? I did see those were like ripped out of the game files and uploaded at some point. Yeah, no, of course. No, it's yeah, it's interesting like seeing game mechanics that like used to exist, because I know in the manual for this one there's like reference to the food being infected and all of these things, and you've got to look out because the plague is sort of more dynamic than it appears, and you got to cook the food and all these kinds of things, which is of course, it feels like a holdover, like that all of the merchants sell this raw meat, and you'd think that would be dangerous. Of course, any of the characters can just wolf it down. And then I remember reading about Pathologic 2 that there was supposed to be, this really advanced like transmission system of the plague, but that didn't happen, did it? Don't walk in front of a bull, behind a horse, or around a thief from any side. I do like that. Always wonder about that. That would imply you should, stay away from people like Grief. I do wonder, how, if the studio was, much larger, what kind of other sort of simulation-y elements they'd choose to add if they had more budget and more time. Because obviously I know they were sort of stretched, shall we say. It was very difficult to develop, especially Pathologic 2, as far as I understand. It was very fraught, difficult to even get it out the door to some degree. So I do wonder, like what a more granular system would have looked like. Like whether we would have had, single buildings being infected, and you would have had to do like more detective work and that kind of thing, as to who's infected and who's not. But obviously Pathologic 2 ended up good. No disputing that. It does, it's one of those things that always makes me wonder. Same as the idea, can't remember where I read it now, but the fact that there used to be a much larger script for the original Pathologic, like the game used to be even more wordy and verbose. Definitely a surprise. Morning of the fourth day has come. The powers that be are getting increasingly worried. All ends in less than 9 days. Day 4 in which the Haruspex, by the end of which the Haruspex makes a friend and finds the half-dead enemy. Okay, no letters yet. We'll just keep wandering around and making a nuisance of ourselves. We do need to find someone who I can trade for. Trade all this stuff for shotgun shells. But I was wondering that because I was thinking initially when Pathologic 2 came out, whether once all the characters' roots were released in Pathologic 2, because I presume that that was what they were going to do, and I think everyone presumed the same, right? That it was going to be the same structure as the original game. 3 campaigns in the one bundle. That once all of that had been released, then 10 years down the track we get Pathologic 3, and the first character there would be Clara, and we get a Clara focused game somehow or something like that. But I guess if a Pathologic 4 featuring Clara is what we get, then I'd be really happy with that, because I think Clara, out of all the characters in this game, deserves a much more robust campaign, a much stronger campaign. Bachelor's invitation. What is Rubin hiding? It appears that our mutual friend was not to be trusted after all. He has concealed a crucial piece of information. Come to see me as soon as you can. I think this work will prove to be of use to you as well to me. I will tell you more when we meet. Daniel Dankovsky. I think Pathologic 3 will get me to finish Pathologic 2, and ironically, if it's what they're showcasing, it'll definitely get me to push through the game. Somehow I'd forgotten that you hadn't finished Pathologic 2. It's definitely worth finishing, but I do understand why you would have put it down. It's the kind of, obviously you've got to be in the mood for it, got to be inspired enough to push through it. But it is, a really fabulous experience. So much to recommend about it. I have a run with like 15 schmatters, terrified to risk the good fortune. I feel like 15 schmatters, what could possibly go wrong? Touch wood, but what could possibly go wrong? That's some incredible luck. I think I'm yet to find a single child with a schmatter in this run right now. Like, what do I actually have? I got antibiotics, I guess, which is something. To eat my bread. Chow down on my stale bread, and now I'm exhausted. Great. It's one thing after the other with the human body. It's never satisfied. I also really struggle with the RNG. I like how if you do everything correctly in Pathologic 1, you can save people. The fact that in Pathologic 2 you can do everything right and still people get sick and die really negatively impacts me as a player in a way that's not enjoyable. That's fair. I think, like, when I first played, I agreed. I was quite frustrated that I was doing everything right. Like, I was going around, I was seeing everybody, I was giving everyone who was sick medicine, I was giving everyone else, almost everyone else, preventative medicine, and still the people who I was trying really hard to save were dying. But yeah, like the more I played it, the more I was able to surpass that mental hurdle, as you say. But it is definitely a mental hurdle, I think, to detach yourself from the feeling of mastery, right, that I was talking about before. I feel like it boils back down to that, is that if we're doing things right, we get frustrated when things go wrong. And obviously, in that way, Pathologic 2 is trying to simulate life or something. If you wanted to get really profound and all that kind of stuff. But I do feel like they're trying to simulate the feeling of like trying your hardest and still failing and still like getting up the next day and carrying on and soldiering on. But I do agree, like it is like frustrating from a player perspective, especially because Pathologic 1 had already primed us to do everything right, you win. So to play the next game and have that message be sort of changed is difficult. Yeah, video games are escapism from the lack of control I have over life. So I like only pushing it so far. Don't mind super difficult games. So long as if you end up doing it quickly, you do get rewarded. Like, I do agree. And it's like a position of privilege, right, for me to be like, ultimately, like, I'm in a decent spot. So for me to be like, these games have been like a really helpful way for me to like grapple with my own mental health and et cetera, and like I find fulfillment in like pushing myself to this kind of limit. It's also like a lot of people don't enjoy like having control like routinely ripped away from them, and I do recognize that. So as much as I do like recommend Pathologic, there is always that like, but only play it if you're like in the mood for it, because it is a heavy game. It is a game that will like challenge you. Happy games with those mechanics are out there. I feel like that's the main thing, right?
These weird fusions proved to be
we should be glad that these games are
Mixing
being
them with
made.
a specimen allowed me to separate the serum.
The yesterday's endeavour turned out to be a complete disaster. I couldn't extract the microbial culture from the dead cells. Not to worry though, there's still hope. Do you have a plan? Master Rubin, who doesn't trust me and is concealing something important, has an unusual source of infected tissue. He's using it to conduct his first experiments. It is not a vaccine, of course, but it's something. I think it might be of interest to you as well. You have my attention? Seems like Rubin is working with a mysterious carrier of the disease that has weakened microbial culture in their blood. I doubt we could make a vaccine from it. Your reagents seem to deal with it all too mercilessly. I wonder what had weakened the infection, though. Who's the carrier? Beats me. Rubin is keeping tantalizingly mum about the whole business. You're closer to him than I am, though. Perhaps he'd be willing to share with you the information he is concealing from me. Rubin hates me. He absolutely doesn't. Last time we talked, I described your feats in detail and proved that his suspicions were completely baseless. You're his hero now, and he's deeply ashamed of his tantrum. I love the phrase cardboard excuses down here. Where do I find him? That is something I cannot tell you. I gave my word. What? This makes no sense. Rubin's trust is very precious to me, and it's so very fragile. If he finds out that it was I who told you where his lair is, a lair that's being actively sought after by numerous armed robbers, I must add, I will lose a very important ally. No way. You're free to look for Rubin yourself. Where do I start? I was introduced to him by a lovely lady called Clara Ravel. She's a very kind, gentle creature. I suppose it would be very hard to be accepted as her guest without a stellar reputation, but you'll probably fight your way in somehow. You're very funny. I see where you're going with this. It's this thing people call a joke, right? Cool. I'm curious as to whether we can just, like, beeline straight to Rubin, or whether the door will be mysteriously locked until we jump through all the correct hoops. But I feel like I'm tempted to just try it and see what happens. Surely we can. One thing that bothers me is the numbers never change. Even if you Schmarter or Panacea Townsfolk, the number of dead is completely static. I can think of some reasons why, but it makes it feel like anything you're doing is just utterly pointless other than the important NPCs. Perhaps it's intentional. I feel like, you know, that's the kind of, it's an illusion, right? Like, it's the kind of thing that a player will only notice if they've played through each character's route more than once and sort of thought, hang on, you know, this seems pretty similar to me. But I do agree, like, it could have been like a nice little integer, like there's a baseline for every day, and you could lower it or raise it. All these kinds of subtle little things I think would be fun. But it is like, also, it could be, you know, this intentional, like everything you're doing is all going to lead to the same end anyway, like all of these little minute things. You can experience it through deaths as well, that's true. It's like day 4, you heal someone, go to day 5, get the new report of dead, then die, reload. Feels too nihilistic for your taste. That's fair. I do think I'd agree if it did change. It just feels like one of those little like narrative framing things that perhaps functions sort of as an oversight. You think it wouldn't have been too difficult to code in a little, you know, integer goes up, integer goes down sort of thing. But I guess maybe the developers were like, who's gonna look into that? And then of course, number of die-hard players like ourselves who do, after enough time, sort of notice these things. But it does maybe feel like, you know, like the framework of like the starting of a chapter, like you flick over the page and then it's got like a, you know, dead today, 1,000 people or something, like a newspaper headline, just sort of smacks you in the face, and that's really all that you need to get from it. But like, I do agree, like I wish it was responsive in some way. I think that would be like a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. Let's see if we can just kick this door open. Rubin, I'm coming. Let's see how we do. Cool. He's not here though. Of course he's not here. Dead tissue. I'll just steal that. He won't mind. We're good friends now, as far as I understand. I do love how that really long, like, it's like 6 minutes or something, that music track plays only in that tiny little warehouse. I did always wonder about that. It's like, wow, we made this really cool song, where are we going to put it? Here's the only place we can put it. I wonder if that's also a very Russian theme. Can't say I'm an expert, but all the Russian literature I've read, his characters doing the right thing. Still not getting their victories. Wondering if that's a common theme. And if so, the numbers not changing speaks to that. I feel like there's a lot of truth in that. Because obviously this game, it's a very literary game, right? It's a game that's steeped in, Russian literature and Russian plays and all of these kinds of things. So I think it does make sense to tie that in. To tie it in that way. But obviously, like, I'm not the world's expert either. But it does feel like the kind of tone is similar to the literature I've read and the poetry I've read from this period as well. I'm a big fan of Tsvetaeva's poetry, for instance, who I got into because of Pathologic. I got into Pathologic, and then I read some of Alexander Bloch's poetry, and then I got into a number of other sort of symbolists. Your mum has bookshelves full of Russian literature. Don't think a single novel has left her feeling uplifted or happy about humanity. Honestly, yeah, I feel like all the Russian literature I own does, functions in much the same way. But nonetheless, there's something there, right? Something that draws us to literature with themes like that, because it is still human, however depressing. It's a nice way to work through emotions and explore pessimism.
Was it a month ago? I can't remember.
Who are you? Did the harpist send you? What are those stains on your clothes? I am the son of Isidor Burak. My name is Artemy.
Was it a month ago?
Can I help you?
I can't remember.
I'm looking for Stark Rubin. Where can he be? It is your good luck that I know where he is. But what do you need him for? You want to take vengeance on him? What for? He threatened to punish you. He believes that it was you who killed Isidor. He's wrong, though, isn't he? Of course he is. So why do you need him? I'm making a panacea, and so does he. I want to know if he's had any luck. Can you promise me that you'll never reveal his hideout to anyone? Can you swear on your father's memory? I can. There was a fight at the abandoned warehouses by the works. The townsfolk discovered Barley's lair. Barley is the bandit whose men were the first to go about cutting. God have mercy. Cutting people. Rubin has secretly infiltrated the area. He was called to help the wounded. Look for him there. Thank you, Lara. Okay, that explains why he wasn't in his tiny little house. Her common saying is that such literature proves people have always sucked, yes. But the feelings of, anxiety about other people have indeed always existed and, always will. I think there's no getting away from it. Part and parcel of the human experience. Which is like, reassuring and perhaps uplifting in its own depressing way, right? It's like, these people felt just as terrible as I did. But yeah, it is amazing as well that, you know, literature from, you know, ages past, that we still recognize those emotions, that, you know, human feeling is kind of timeless, and that we're still finding ways to express things that have always been said. Yeah, you can put that on a t-shirt, I think. That'll be my first bit of merchandise, you know, when I strike it large, I'm sure. When all the people come to watch my verbose Pathologic playthroughs, and they're all wearing, everyone in the crowd is wearing People Have Always Disappointed Other People t-shirts, you know, that's when I know I'll have struck it large. I'll be going around signing the Bag of People's shirts. It'll be incredible. Bunch of contrarians in the crowd. Well, I hope so. Surely that is the audience I'm cultivating, right? A bunch of people who are willing to put up with a person who has yet to find a solid schedule for the entirety of 2024. But I appreciate people putting up with that nonetheless. Okay. Go in here. I can't remember if there's going to be a fight in here or not, or whether Rubin will just be waiting. Plot twist, you're just stealing Tool fans. Maybe I am. Okay, everyone's just looking very casual there, my friend.
Where does this Clara come from? She's all covered in dirt.
Quick question. Did you know before this game about the saying snips, snails and puppy dog tails? I hadn't, and I had no clue it was the other half of sugar, spice and everything nice. I get culturally it's like our shadow, and in that I think there's a flavour of life and understanding that is very exotic, unique to us. But I admit I'm a little worried about their worldview. That's fair. I feel like there's a healthy... I don't think I'm a pessimist, and I don't want to be a pessimist, you know, like, I do actually believe in the human spirit, and I love people, and I believe in people, and I always want to believe the best in people. But I feel like, you know, it's not a bad thing to indulge in a little, you know, whatever you want to call it, pessimism or realism, or, you know, whatever phrase you feel most comfortable with, pragmatism. I do feel like it's okay to, like, feel these things, or I guess it's the nihilism that I have a problem with, the, like, lying down and just saying, it's all it's all hopeless. I think that's the worldview that upsets me the most. It's like, even if, you know, technically nothing matters, you can still, like, do stuff. Like, that's what we're here for, is to do things, is to create things. I forget where I read it. Someone somewhere said how humanists can be the most disappointed because they want the best for humanity from a perspective of love and caring. So when we see people being terrible, we feel it all the more. Yeah, I feel like that holds a lot of truth, doesn't it? Is that the optimists, obviously, are the most vulnerable in a way, because they're the ones who can actually be let down. Whereas I think pessimism is, in some cases, at least any pessimists I've met, it's a defense mechanism, where if you're a pessimist, then, you know, everything is fine because everything was going to be bad anyway. Georgie line says something about the dream as the poets or something, being the most in danger. Yes, I think I remember that. As for the snips, snails and puppy dog tails thing, I do think I'd heard that before this game. I can't remember where, but I do remember hearing it in some nursery rhyme or something, or some book I read when I was very young. I can't remember where, though. It'll come to me later, I'm sure. And if you know, like if you have like a critique about Pathologic, I feel like this is the place to, to share it, because I like to think of, this is a safe space, and it's not like I'm going to be offended if you if you say something about Pathologic and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that's not how I feel. Like, even if that's true, it doesn't bother me. This game isn't perfect, and I've long since come to appreciate that. Like, I have a lot of like sticking points with it, and some sticking points as well with the director and that kind of thing. But it's go nuts. Like, we're here to critique the game. We're here to have a discussion about it, pick it apart. If that's not analysis, like, I don't know what is. Being exposed to different views is always enriching, I think, and that's what I hope these streams are. I'd rather it existed than didn't. Yes. I think the reason like I hold it in such like high esteem is like because of what I said before, right? About it being like the first game for me that I personally experienced that did these things, that like was actually making me feel emotions that weren't just like generic power fantasy 101, which of course is all well and good. But I've since experienced like a number of other games that like do these things. But I do agree, like there are a number of things. I mean, obviously at the moment I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but there are a number of themes in this game that certainly like could have been presented more thoughtfully, or been incorporated more thoughtfully into the gameplay loops and the gameplay rhythms. Which is why obviously like Pathologic 3 interests me so much, to see how they continue to evolve the narrative and the themes inherent to this world. But yeah, no, it's like, if you have a critique, like, don't feel like you're going to ruin my day anyway, because you won't. You'll probably make my day. If you're just going to, unless of course you're just coming in here to say this game's terrible, which of course you aren't. So constructive discussion, I think, is what this channel is meant to be here for, and which is why I feel so guilty about not streaming, because this is the kind of community environment that I've like wanted to foster and encourage, and I haven't been there to do that. So that's, I think, yeah, like a big hang-up of mine this year. Some of them are more thoughtfully integrated than a lot of Western works. Maybe it's specific hang-ups I'm worried about. If that's the case, I should probably write the writers and ask them about it, and they'd probably be happy to answer you. That's so nervous. It's alright, like, I understand. And it's great that games like these exist. Even as broken or unpolished as it is, it inspires the next generation to try and polish it more. Exactly. And the idea can be improved or grow with each generation. And, this is one of the games that's, like, inspired me to want to make my own game. And to want to somehow, like, do better, even on just, like, a couple of points, or refine something. And, just create stuff. So I feel like if a game does that, it's got to be doing at least something right. And God, could you imagine I put that many hours into this game and just to hate it? Well, some people, yeah, I guess like hate playing a game is different than like hate watching a movie, right? Like there's only so much hate playing you can do before you're like, this game sucks, I can't do this anymore. But like a hate watch or something is like a lot more fun, because you're sitting around with your friends making fun of it. But yeah, hate play, like it's harder to sustain that hatred across like 150 hours or whatever, Alright, sorry Rubin, I was having my own discussion. I owe you an apology. Out to me. Forgiven and forgotten, Stark. I know you love my father. I've been told you've taken over his duty. You're making a panacea. You're putting your life at stake and your well-being at risk every hour. You're being hunted just as I am. I wonder why. It's all gotten so confusing. I've been told a strange story not so long ago. I think you're being hunted for something that I had done. For Simon Kane. Yes. I've heard that Simon has been killed. You've been attacked, remember? At the station. Yeah, I remember that, even though it was a number of months ago by now. They were there on their own accord, I've learned, tried to ambush Simon's murderer. Thought he would try to escape by hiding in a carriage when a scheduled train arrives. What does that have to do with us? I thought Oynon Dankovsky had established the truth. Simon's killer is still among us, and we can't punish them yet. And so we are hunted by fanatics for desecrating Simon's remains. Well, unlike you, I deserve it. When I realized the nature of his superhuman blood, I had a desperate decision to make, and I've decided to make sand plague medicine from Simon's remains. But why didn't you explain yourself? Your choice would have been accepted. Like hell it would. Explaining myself to the Canes is pointless. They fetishize Simon. They'd rather place their bets on his sacred power, or the power of his name, or hell knows what else. They are a family of high-handed esoterics who only believe in dark arts. Fetishized? What does that mean? Where have you been all these years? I thought you were studying. I'm kidding. Just didn't expect a word like this to escape your lips. Go on. Can I count on you? That depends on what you're planning to do. I'm not planning. The deed's already been done. The sacrilege is complete. I've cut his body open by every line and squeezed everything I could from it. I pulled the bacteria from it and have made a few protective vaccine samples already. Old Simon has fed mankind with himself once again. Have you looked for antibodies in his blood? That was the first thing I did. There was nothing of the sort. I am a skeptic, you know, yet each time I come across the Cane's mysticism, I am filled with fear. It's like the disease began to wither away within him, all on its own. But it didn't die. All on its own? What do you mean? His blood is of a completely different nature to anything I've seen before. It isn't quite human. More than human, I'd say. In any case, the blood is gone. I used every drop to make the vaccines. I don't regret it, though. It wouldn't have helped you anyway, I think. Okay, thank you for the news. I'm sorry I can't be of more use. And don't harbour ill feelings against me, please. I wish you luck. Okay, so that was that quest done. So this was how the superhuman Simon died. To give him credit where credit is due, he did prove that a man can beat the sand pest. His blood is proof of this. I wonder if a cure could have been made of the sacred core. I do like that... Oh, hello. Nothing is... Right, this is where we get like shut in the jail. And... I think I hit once, you know, I was escaping.
To remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
Drugs. Come on, go for the guards, don't go for me. Go for the guards! Whew. Day 5 in which the Haruspex gets a chance to grab Her Highness the Plague by the tail. The narrator talking is hilariously placed to me. Yeah, we're just waking up, and it's like, the day is over, you did it, good job. You're a hero. I love this, the plague. Here we go. Oh. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater. Ugh. What do I do in here again? Can I do anything? Put some protective gloves on, that'll help. Gamma tablets. Do I have to shoot the guards? What am I doing again? Do I just have to survive for long enough for something to happen? I genuinely can't remember. Come here. Ugh. Okay, fine, I'll get the gun out. Reload. It's not going very well in here. Hello? If all goes poorly, I mean, I can just retry. Get over here, come on. Why'd you leave the dead guy next to my cell? Is this a dead end? Yes, it is. Why would it be anything else? I always loved the look of the plague in this game. Like, just the vague shape of faces. Actually really used to creep me out when I first played it. I found it so effective. You see like screaming human faces piling towards you. Even if it does look, you know, pretty janky these days. I remember, yeah, it used to be genuinely very affecting. Funny, I can remember it, but I don't feel the same way anymore. But quickly take all his guts. Take all his bullets as well. Take all his pills. What are you guys doing in here anyway? If I leave and then I can't go back in, okay. Right. I don't have a quest, but we were just beaten to a pulp, so we gotta find a way to head back. If you don't have a gun, actually just boned, or can you wait it out? Like if the day flips over, will the jail open? Yeah, like, I'm wondering, like if I missed my shots, right? Like if I'd somehow stuffed up where I was shooting, I suppose either I'd have to, yeah, run around in circles away from the plague cloud all day in the jail cell. Or I just have to like reload, and if I hadn't saved recently, then I guess, yeah, I'd just be kind of screwed. But maybe there is a timer on the cell door or something. I really couldn't remember, so that's why I was running around in circles to start with. But it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, we just had to like do nothing. Either do nothing or reload. Okay, we're already most of the way through. Yes, and just die. I do wonder, yeah, if you died in the cell. I suppose there wouldn't be a special script for that either. They'd probably nothing interesting would happen. Can't remember if we get a quest or not. Later. Played the Younger's invitation. Bachelor's invitation. Eureka! It seems the nutrient medium that may produce the antibodies we need is the real deal. There's one way we can attain it. A rather gruesome operation, which is nevertheless rather customary for someone of your background. Come see me and we'll discuss everything in detail. Now, can I just like... I had an infected heart. Can I just put that? Just put everything in here. Cool. That can go in there as well. Alright. And this is one of the like disruptions of routine I was talking about before, right? Is you're just sort of completely screwed by the game for no real reason. Like you just lose all your reputation. If you hadn't been infected already, you definitely would have, almost certainly would have become infected in there, especially in your first playthrough, right? It's just waves after wave of plague clouds spawn and home in on you directly for some reason. It's just, yeah, one of those totally arbitrary things. Which perhaps, you know, you could say represents the capriciousness of a child saying, I hate it that, you know, this story's boring. Let's put the main character in jail and let's have like giant plague clouds fly at his face. Yeah, that'll show him. It wouldn't surprise me if that was some of the intent behind it, at least. No, wait, no. Whoa. I do like that they're just the wrong speed. Like they're trying to attack me from behind, but every time they do their punching animation, they fall just slightly. Oh, damn. Okay, sorry, you proved me wrong. All right. And of course, a single punch makes everyone run away. I really don't want to fight anyone. I wasn't aware these guys were fast enough. I did. That's embarrassing. See, normally they do that, but... yeah, interesting. Okay. Let's go in here for a minute. As we know, guards can't... they're like vampires. Need to be invited inside. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, I seem to recall, I think the first time I did this, like this whole bridge is like lined with guards, which is obviously the worst way to go. So interesting. Pathologic 1 Vlad just has a portrait of a worm. I guess, you know, he likes to remind himself of all of his really hard workers that he looks after so much. It's quite it is quite a statement. I do wonder, yeah, like what the intent was with some of the like portrait placement. whether it symbolized anything in particular about the characters, or whether the developers were just like, hey, we made this painting, just put it here. That's always been something on my mind. Like, yeah, why choose to do this? Obviously, that's what happens when you play a game for so long. They're 4, right? No, 2. Yeah, I'll take 2. Oh, you've only got 1. My bad. Okay. I'll take 1 shot. Thank you. Got the bandage, you sure do. But you know, like at a certain point, like the developer probably thought about some of these decisions for less time than fans have, which is like fun to think about. But it is fun that like people can like build up the mythology and like find their own meaning in the work, even stuff that isn't intended. Provided there's evidence to back it up, I say go for it. I think it's one of the most rewarding parts of art, is dissecting it and analysing it. Alright, Bachelor, this better be important. Hopefully you'll just take my infected heart and I don't have to dissect anyone. Because I've already got 2, if that's what you want. But I feel like it's a special object, isn't it? It's like a freshly dissected, freshly removed infected heart or something. Hello.
You look unhealthy.
So you have luckily escaped custody. Yeah, no thanks to you. I wonder if that's for long. Who on earth was so eager to get to me? Feels like the start of the governor. Alexander respects me, so I'll do my best to protect you from any further persecution, but I can't guarantee anything. That's fine, I can do without guarantees. I've been looking for you. Why is that? We need a sample of infected tissue with a high concentration of the bacteria. A heart would work best, yeah, living one in fact. No more than half an hour can pass after you extract it, and the donor has to have an early, non-critical stage of the disease. You're a funny man, Oinon. Do you think I walk around cutting people open for my own pleasure? Quite the contrary. I need a heart to make a protective vaccine. I think it would serve our common interests. I'm trying to make a panacea, a serum, a very different thing. I need the disease itself. You need the useful antibodies produced by a living being. I think both can be found within the same medium, the blood of a person infected but not yet devoured by the plague. The antibodies suppressing the bacteria's development are precisely the reason for that person to not having been devoured yet. Do you really think, Oinon, that people can fight the sand plague? Rumour has it that native steppe people are actually unlikely to die from the disease. I'm not sure there have been any lethal cases at all. Dancers, butchers, those bull people of yours, what's the word? That doesn't mean the infection passes them by, but for some reason the disease doesn't seem to reproduce within their bodies. Perhaps it has something to do with their blood. I see your point. Butchers, dancers, and Odong. I wonder why. There must be some kind of pattern here. It's a shame those people are all locked up inside the termitary right now. I wonder if that locked up horde could still be alive and kicking. I'd love to find out, and so I will, but that's my job, not yours. You won't find any butchers in the town. Everyone who had escaped the termitary has fled. Not every single one. As far as I know, someone is still being harboured by a certain sharp-tongued lady. Her name is Asperty. You can also find dancers in the pub, but the pub is Andres de Martin's domain. Hell if he allows you to open any of them up in front of him. The dancers may go out for a walk from time to time though, right? Okay, I'll find someone. Asperty keeps track of every fugitive. Maybe some of them have a death wish. Or ask her. Time to walk across town again. Yeah, we should find either a sickly man or a dying person so we can give them painkillers and boost our reputation, because... well, wait. What districts are infected? The warehouse. One of these ones. We can go around the edge of town. I think it is because they're knowledgeable about Twire, which you know increases immunity. You can see this in Pathologic 2 after day 3. The deaths are very low. After it passes through Middletown, the deaths spike, and we know for sure Ken will accept tinctures in trade. Whereas the Middle Townsmen won't. They want regular store antibiotics. Oops. I feel like that's like, that's a pretty good explanation, I say. I reckon that's what's going on, is the amount of twirine they have in their blood, and you know, they're out in the steppe. Like, Twire is said to be like in the air. And obviously if you're out in the steppe, there's more of that going around. So perhaps, like it is finding its way into their blood, both through the drink, through their infusions, and just through the air as well. I think, yeah, there's definitely something serious to that theory. I'd agree. And I think I was going to start saying something before I was jumped and put in prison about, like how it's interesting that we never really learn anything conclusive about Simon. I know that there was meant to be that Pathologic 2, what was it, like, there was like a backer's reward of like the day before the plague started, which was never reached on Kickstarter. It was a thing that was never funded, but I was always like tantalized by the prospect of actually like being able to talk to Simon, or even just to see him, because you never see him, in fact, which is another thing I'm interested in regarding Pathologic 3, because I feel like, to me, Simon remains, deliberately of course, one of the sort of preeminent mysteries, even in Bachelor's campaign and this one. You don't tend to learn that much about him. He still remains this sort of aloof, mysterious figure whom everyone respected, and sort of who was the uniting force of the town. And when he dies, obviously, the plague forces all this additional change as well. I love the trade system in Pathologic 2, because it also informs so much. Absolutely. It's one of those wonderful examples of Pathologic's game mechanics aligning with the story that it wants to tell. I do think, it does so many of those little things well. Actually aligns gameplay with narrative, or even just gameplay with lore and the sort of background narrative that's going on. It tells you a lot about how the townsfolk live, or even just allows you to imagine how they live. As I like to say during these streams, it's the little elements of simulation that are so rewarding to witness. Well, thanks for watching Future Cityscape. No, it was great to have you here. Great to chat again. I agree. Thank you. I'm not sure how much longer I'll stream for. I can sort of feel my throat getting scratchy, but I'll keep trying my best. And yes, happy holidays to you as well. And happy New Year as well, if I don't get to stream again this year. Fortunately, that guy's eyes never move. Just go around these guys. I'll just stop and have a drink here. I have to hit the hydrate button myself at this rate. Yeah, right. Wander over to Aspity. Do I have any food left? I have vegetables and milk. Very hearty. I could see if there's anyone in the factory district to like pick up, but I don't know if there is. Otherwise I'll just see. I can't remember if Aspity's district is infected today or not. Either. Hang on. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Surely the best combat music, right? This is the one I think of anyway when I think Pathologic 1 combat music. Just the sound of the breathing turned into like a battle chant. Can you stop punching me in the back of the head? It's really annoying. Okay. After taking another beating. Greetings.
It was a pointless manhunt by the governor. Ferocity doesn't make a blockhead smarter.
Yes, I agree. Ferocity, indeed. The kin is ready to follow your lines, O eldest of the barracks. Is that so, sister? I never waste breath saying things I don't mean. My lines have brought me to a bloody path. Oh, you are looking for your sacrifice, aren't you? I know. How can I help you? I need a butcher. That's a weird thing for you to say. Do you really think that your father had such a worthless creature in mind? You're looking in the wrong place. A butcher is but a man. Why concern yourself with men? I need him for other purposes. Will you tell me? You know that I'm making a panacea. I need the tissue of one of the Bodo's children. So yeah, either we trust her or we don't. What a ridiculous idea. It's not my place to judge what the elder families do, but you are a different case. You didn't grow up here, you only came back recently. I fear you've fallen under the bachelor's influence, the prickly prick that'll bury us all. There's no way in hell I'm going to help him or his minions. Yet you are going to help me. No, Barack, I'm no fool. I can see the bachelor standing behind your back. Look at that wonderful smile. That's why she's my favourite character. It is he who needs the panacea, not you. He wants to offer it to the powers that be along with someone's head. That is the price of his victory. You should find your own path. Pity.
What?
I feel like, yeah, that does us in for the day, right? When did I last save? Ages and ages ago. I feel like I'm happy to accept that failure. Unless we can redeem it by picking up the thread somewhere else. But I can't remember if we can, but can you, just for 5 minutes? Cool. Gotta love the way that works. Okay, find something else to do with the day then. I think it's meant to be a unique hut as well, right? Like, you can't just kill any infected person and have it be the correct thing. But yes, we can go here and see if Andre can help us out. I can't remember if that conversation always ends that way or not. One of those things of the distant past since I haven't played it. Played through this campaign in its entirety in years. Then yeah, I've totally slipped my mind. But if we have failed, what's the point of the game? Can you? How did he even see me? These people. Go in here. Turn around. Okay. Just like that, the lights flicker on. Alrighty. No. I'll save here, since I haven't saved in a while. Would you need me to do anything special for you, young Barack? As the daughter of Bodo, I have to obey you. The locals call me Willow. Obey me? Why? I'm a dancer, you see. It's a very special trade, an ancient trade. The rite is obligatory for us, even more so than for butchers. What does your trade have to do with religion? Are you joking, Barack? A dancer knows the lines. Only a dancer can bend and extend them. It's a sacred art. These days we're not dancing because of the mourning, but when happier days come, you will see how far we can extend the lines of body. I hope happier days come very soon. Hello?
Oh, I would have let my fists loose if not for these pins.
The patrolmen aren't running out of legs, are they? Are you the boss here? You could say so, Ripper. I need one of these women. They're not for sale, neither are they takeaway, especially now. They're very dear to me. I'm getting more and more sentimental by the day. I need to talk to them. Fine by me, talk ahead. Can't talk to you. I can only talk to you. Does that trigger any new dialogue? No.
Is there a treatment for this disease?
Coffee. Take all your coffee, thank you. Yeah, do you buy twire? Is that the question I didn't ask?
There's nothing to talk.
How much is shotgun shell? take that. I guess I needed both, right? I needed the butcher to trigger that. Wondering if there's anything else I try, or whether I just go to bed and accept the loss here. I'm sure Alexander will love me hanging out in his house. He's the nearest person. I didn't see any sick people. I'll wander around and see if I can find anyone. Is this district sick again or just abandoned? I think just abandoned. At any rate. Oh wait, Vlad the Younger as well, actually. We can go see him. And find some way to increase our reputation, surely. Because I just need to increase it just a little bit as well. Like, it just needs to be, don't kill me on sight, and I should be fine. Let's see. Come on, where are all the sickly? There we go. There's a sickly person. I don't really think this is worth it, like money to reputation, but I kind of just want to stop being beaten to death. So, save here. Take it, I hope you use it wisely. Wait, so how much? 3,000? Okay, yeah. That's alright, isn't it? Surely they'll stop killing me on sight now, because that one guy now has a bunch of money. And I still have 14,000 coins. That should do for now. Just enough to stop me being murdered on sight. If that doesn't stop me being murdered on sight, then I'm going to be very disappointed. Nope. Anything to say? Nope. I feel like it's something on the earlier days. Have you tried No, I'm Not Human? It's another Slavic-coded horror game, but it's only a demo right now. I haven't. I don't actually think I've heard of it. No, I'm Not Human. I'm just going to write that down. It certainly sounds like the kind of game I'd be interested in. Part of the horror VHS collection on Steam. I mean, a little sort of grainy screenshot popped up and I just popped that into another tab to save it for later. And it looked like, just from a screenshot and from your descriptions, it looked like my kind of thing, so who knows, maybe I can open next year with a stream of it or something, of the demo. Does look like my kind of thing. Look at this thing I got. Have razors. I feel like my tastes in video games are probably transparently obvious from hearing me speak for 2 minutes. I was taken in by it when I saw it. It looks cool. Yeah, I'm keen to, after the stream, read up on it some more and see what's up with it. How long is the demo, by the way? Because I'd be curious. Just sort of maybe plan out part of a stream with it or something. Let me do it this way. Violent horror stories, anthology. Okay. Demo will take you probably an hour and a half maybe. Cool, that'd be the perfect length to like combo with another short horror game. I think there's a few of those that I'd like to play. So I could bundle it together in a stream next year. like that. I think that would be fun. Yeah, no, that would be really cool. Trying to think how much longer I'll stream for today. Maybe about maybe another. I'll see. I'll see how I feel in like another hour. But I feel like in another hour I'll be pushing my sore throat to the limits, and I really don't want to do that anymore. I look forward to the stream. If you don't keep it as a VOD, though, I may miss it. It's alright. I keep everything I record as a VOD. I don't know if there's any reason why I changed that system, unless for whatever reason something happened during the stream that I really didn't want to save. But yeah, everything I play all gets recorded into a VOD, which is also like kind of funny because I know that like everything I'm saying will be recorded. So I'm always like aware of the fact that like people will be consuming this in the future when I'm not live.
There's this thing that needs to be done.
Right now, can't check my past broadcasts. Oh, I see. So I put everything onto YouTube. My current like Twitch status contract means I can save things for 2 weeks, and then it gets lost basically. But I always export it to my YouTube channel. Everything is saved on YouTube. So I have full collections of all the stuff I've played. So previous Pathologic playthroughs, Silent Hill playthroughs, etc. That's all on YouTube. But yeah, Twitch doesn't let me save anything for longer than 2 weeks, sadly. I think unless I like clip it and then it saves it indefinitely. But I feel like I just prefer to just export it to YouTube and let only the recent stuff exist on Twitch. See, the works have stopped precisely at the wrong time. What happened? The ground crumbled beneath the workers. They climbed down the hole and saw an opening there. Seems like the bottom of this creep hole is made of the same hard material that any previous digging efforts died against. A creep hole? It's a whole cave. Those good-for-nothings tried to convince me they had seen a light there, heard groans and muffled singing. Nonsense. Those worker types are unbearably superstitious. So now they won't go down, not for love or money. Not a single person brave enough among them. Turns out I am once again doing something blasphemous. Why? Same reason you're discouraged from cutting dead bodies open. According to them, we're opening the body of the earth, illegally and shamelessly. This sudden discovery has reminded them that Mother Bodo is a living, breathing being, just like anyone else. Do you fancy this cave to be part of her digestive system? I'll check that out. If you go down there and find out what it is, I'll make it up to you. How much do you think you could contribute to an expedition like this? 7,000. That's all I can donate these days. And 2 recipes. I've acquired them when the worms were killing the traders. Deal. Okay, time for one of the spookiest location in the game. Actually, no, does this gun even have any... Yeah, we got a little bit of ammo. They took all my knives, though, which is pretty annoying. And they did take my shotgun, too, actually. Very annoying. It's alright, we got this gun anyway, and we can get another shotgun later. Got a little lantern oil I'll use up down here. It's a really effective location. I think just because of like how different it is. And this is the location that was like most similar to the experience I thought I was going to have when I bought the game. I was like, okay, we're going to be like doing a lot of sneaking around. It's going to be sort of like a Dishonored style experience. I don't know why I thought that when I was just looking at the screenshots. Obviously the game is a bit different to that. But I thought it would be, you know, like creeping around in the dark to sort of claustrophobic, spooky environments. Obviously you get a bit of that, but there's a lot more walking and talking and philosophizing than I was initially expecting, which of course is not a bad thing. Okay. Cool. I'm not totally lost. Look, it's the Rat Prophet. Greetings, friend. Isn't it Burak? Burak it is. I wonder what you're expecting to see. Wait, what kind of creature are you? Me? I'm a prophet. The prophet. Why are you here? Can you not hear your father? I can hear him alright, but I don't believe it. It's a trick. Really? Hiccup on my part, I guess. Try listening some more. What do you want? Why are you mocking the dead? Mocking? Who's mocking? Look me straight in the eye. I can't breathe. Listen to your father's moaning. Or do you not want to find out who took his life? Listen closer. Isn't that his voice? Cool. Strange entities dwelling in the bowels of Bodo. But what kind of creature was it? A ghost? An apparition brought forth by my own restless mind? It is said that a large number of rats may be able to instill the most bizarre thoughts into a human being. Maybe that was the case. I feel a whiff of fresh air from somewhere above. I can go back to Vlad the Younger. Squeeze through the tiny little manhole there. I feel like also... I haven't seen the play yet, have I? I can go do that before it expires. Definitely, yeah. Like, the ups and downs of Artemis campaign in the first one. I'm now reminded why I consider this one the hardest one. Oh, yep, and we've turned this place into the morgue by now.
They are, shall we say, both puerile and demented. A real piece of work.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Marco Mortel, the impresario of the theatre and a master of puppets. Would the kind sir like to see the mime show? Yes, I would. Wait for the announcement then, it will begin soon. How are you planning to impress me, impresario? Oh, you will also have a role there, a major one, kind sir. I'd rather just watch. Just popping in to make sure you're alive and well. Don't have anything special to say or do. Okay, back to Vlad the Younger. I'm going to try and sort out all of my varying danger bars up the top right there. And see how we do. Yeah, because today's main quest, I think, will be the first main quest I've failed, but I really don't want to, like, rewind, you know, all this time and just to say the right dialogue option. I feel like at this point, you know, it'd be more interesting to see what happens when I fail and what we can do to, like, come back from that. I think there's always yeah, like the prospect of failure. That's the point of these games, surely. And if I can inject even just a little bit of that desperation and that challenge back into a playthrough, I feel like that would, you know, that would just warm my heart after all this time playing it and feeling like way too cruisy and in control. It'd be nice to, yeah, be challenged once more. Okay. Hello again.
Where are the dead disappearing to?
I'd go there myself if it weren't for my claustrophobia. I've been there, came out the other side, as you can see. Congratulations. So what is it? It's a tunnel someone's dug from under the theatre. Who would do something like that? I think I've met a weird creature there, but it could have been a hallucination. Did it look like a man-like rat by any chance? Yes. Do you know what it is? Curious. Very curious. I think it's an illusion, a spectre appearing to very different people on some creature's will. You've fallen prey to hypnosis. What did it say to you? It spoke about my father. It was all very unclear. Here's the reward for your courage, Master Burak. Thank you. Let us never mention it again. Now that is curious. No, wait.
It is easier. Drop the bottle. I'll take this instead. Right. Okay. We'll just sleep here. Yeah, bandage ourselves as well. Okay. Yeah, sleep. We're gonna get rid of this exhaustion. So yeah, infection's really growing now.
The night has come. The most pressing endeavours of the day were fulfilled at the expense of several lives of your bound.
So
Mime
Notkin is
performance
now
at the
infected.
theatre will feature today's events.
And that's probably the first time in this playthrough we've heard that extra little message. And it claims that, yeah, several of the bound were taken down, but that's not true. But I guess Notkin ran and gave the Bachelor the infected heart that he was after. Which, you know, I'm impressed. You gotta be impressed with that kind of behaviour. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, next year, my plan is to actually have, like a routine. I can try for food, actually. A routine time that I'm streaming. The time I'm thinking at the moment is, at least every Monday for 3 hours, which would be in the afternoon for me, which hopefully would mean people elsewhere could also attend from around the world. I think the New Zealand morning isn't really compatible with anybody else unless they're up at like midnight, or at least so it seems for the core of my audience. Next year that's my plan, is to once a week actually stream something, build up the community again, foster some sort of more sort of analytical spirit in the video game internet community, just more generally, and start to produce stuff again on sort of a bigger scale, because I have missed like actually producing videos and stuff. I was exceedingly proud of everything I was able to create, including the Silent Hill sort of spatial analysis and these kinds of things that stretched on for 2 hours. But I was very pleased with, I think every video essay I've made, I've really enjoyed, been proud of.
So here we are.
So much blood was spilled.
Spilled? You mean by accident? Something you had nothing to do with?
It had to be done so that we could move forward. We're on the path to victory. Don't you agree?
We are. Now we know how to fight Sunpest for real. False rumors have been disproven. It's no demon. These are just tiny particles that die quickly if they can't bite into hot blood.
People fear Katarina's prophecy.
People only fear bloodshed when it's their blood and their shed.
It's got to be the best quote.
Blood is nothing but a nutritional medium. He who sows blood reaps a ripe harvest.
I'm really glad others appreciate that line as much as I do. It's just delightful. Their blood and their shed. It's the kind of line that's clever in the stupidest possible way. Gotta respect the translator. Just incredible work. Right, okay. I guess the goal is, look, we'll try and get through to day 7, and then I think I'll call the stream. So however long that takes, we'll do that. I think that's a good goal to aim for. Day 7, and then we'll actually be sort of within touching distance of finishing it. We'll sort of already be over halfway through Artemis' playthrough. We can sort of knock it out really quick next year, hopefully. But I do think I'll be too tired to finish it all in one sitting. I think that'll be too taxing, and I have to do some more readings, I think, before my next play session, because I would like to discuss some stuff with some more like academic quotes actually under my belt. Maybe I should start sending out readings to the YouTube channel. So show up with some thoughts on this reading, We can discuss it while I play Resident Evil. I think that could be fun. I'll probably have to do that through my get lost, jumpy sort of thing here. Heard some nasty things about you. Shoo, go away. But I'll give you lots of money. Is anyone lying on the floor in need of painkillers? Hello? Anybody? No. I guess I'll just trade with all these guys and see if they got any more food. Nope. Yes. I think that's 7, right? Yep. It's pretty easy to deplete your supply of razors, but it's not really worth it, I don't think. I think the can of vegetables is, you know, does more. No, they just all got meat. I'll just eat the vegetables. There we go. That'll sort me out for a while anyway before I have to think about it again. And I'll kill some robbers to boost the last of my reputation. And get a knife back, hopefully. Cool. Just hoping the rat chooses to ignore me. I guess if my reputation is low enough, you know, the rat... I'm one of them. Nope, okay, damn. I was really hoping like rats also had low reputation and they recognized me as a sibling, but I guess not. Very sad. Okay. Just go hide out with Rubin for a second while I lose these rats. Rubin's not here. Is there everything else in his little drawer today? Nope. Okay. Isidore Burak's diaries. Extract about primitive immune system boosters, page 55. When concocted in the right proportion, Twyrine extracts offered some kind of protection. I am now able to outline the basic logic of how these compounds should be prepared. If only the worms did not obstruct my work. However, here's a few important results I have accomplished. Swivery would almost invariably boost the effect. The clear group. The following herbs were combined. Amber, brown twire 2, swivery 2, tar, brown twire 2, swivery. The astringent group. The following herbs were combined. Bitterness, black twire, brown twire, swivery, white whip. Smoke, brown twire 3, swivery. The earth gives birth to both herbs and plague. Beneath the ground, roots bind what is then released by sunlit seeds. Whenever nature enforces its will upon us, we must take heed to seek the way. Whoever says we should submit is unwise. I really love the diary entries. That's probably the main bit of writing I wish had stayed or been expanded upon in Pathologic 2. I wish you could have still read through more of what Isidore had written down. Just a really cool insight into his process and sort of the philosophy that he was following at times. I'll take that. Okay. Yeah, really just need to boost reputation. I mean, it would be nice if I could actually find a Schmouder as well. Just to heal Notkin already, but I don't have that yet, so gotta keep looking around. I definitely don't want to like get the bad ending on my final playthrough. That would kind of suck. But at the very least, we could still see the bad ending, which, you know, you get by abstaining as well from the vote. If you just choose not to decide anything, the game punishes that by giving you the bad ending. Okay, we'll just drop that stuff in here. And the other thing I'm hoping is that, yeah, like if I'm playing more routinely again, I'll be able to, not only will I be able to like work through longer games, hopefully, on stream, but I'll also be able to just more generally, like, do more fun stuff, you know, challenge playthroughs and these kinds of things, which, like, I have wanted to do. Like, I see other people, you know, doing these speed runs and, you know, can you beat X game with Y condition. A lot of that stuff seems like a lot of fun because, you know, I could analyze it while also, you know, having a bit more fun with the mechanics. But it's the kind of thing that I feel like needs to be done in shorter, more focused bursts rather than an analysis playthrough, which apparently, in my case, is just played over the entirety of like a year because there's so little time for me to stream. But, you know, like, I am hoping that as I get back into that routine, that I will be able to do a lot of cool things with some of the games that I play. I'm also hoping to get... I think I mentioned that this was a plan ages and ages ago. But, you know, like, I do want to play games and then also use some of the footage in videos that I make. But it just so happens that, yeah, I haven't really had the chance to do that yet. But, you know, the endless frustration is there's always so many plans bubbling away in my head, but I never quite manage to sort of find the time in the day to get it done. But, you know, I'm holding myself to that, to actually being able to accomplish some more interesting things, more exciting things in 2025, hopefully. Okay. I know people have been asking me to play Pathologic 2, I think, since like 2021, so, you know, like, could finally vindicate those people. I'm sure I'll make everyone feel a lot better. I'm finally here. I hope you're still excited. Because I said, you know, I'll only play it if, you know, if and when I've beaten all of the original Pathologic campaigns. And, you know, here we are. I'm curious. Yeah, we still can. We still can do this floating bed exploit. I do only have my fists though, so I don't know how well that's going to go for me. Okay, now I can still punch him. Pathologic, everybody. This is what it's all about. You notice the robust fighting system. There's just so much depth to it. It's just really unseen. Just how much you can actually, yeah, like, get out of it. Just some incredible stuff. Look at that. You should see that combo. Incredible. I'll take that. Cool. That was the last bullet as well from my revolver, but it's alright. Hopefully we can scavenge something else interesting from here. This is a fascinating room, isn't it? 3 chairs looking at 2 coat racks. It's the entertainment room. Okay. That was actually a really poor second floor. What did I get, like 8 coins? That's not good at all. It was a waste of a bullet for sure. At least I got some money from the robbers themselves. Okay. And I went out the wrong. Do they do they immediately respawn? I don't think they do they? No, just the bodies despawn. We can try another house. Oh. Whew. Gameplay. You had me on the ropes, but now I'm flying. Just incredible. The hitbox is so terrible. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for either of us. I hit them once, come on. What is happening? There we go. Perfect, perfect. It's all to do with like the random animations as well. Like it just doesn't work. Cool. Okay, that's our reputation restored. Unfortunately, I have tanked my health with that. I do wonder if there was also meant to be a bleeding system as well, because the tourniquet is like much worse than the bandage, but it does say like stops bleeding. Like I do wonder if that was like a mechanical holdover as well. Probably was, right? I feel like they were sort of ambitious, and that ambition didn't always pay off. But sort of traces of the ambitious reveal themselves. At times, anyway. Okay, I don't know if it's really worth going upstairs, to be honest. Yeah, 2 of them again. If I go back to the bedroom, you're gonna see some more riveting gameplay, I'm sure. I do like how reliable this exploit is, that you can actually, like, glitching in there is pretty easy. Okay, I'll stand, like, where I was before. Maybe it'll be easier to get... No, okay, they're gonna take turns. I was gonna say, like, if they can't actually dodge, but they still kinda can, okay. Don't ever let yourself be intimidated by a robber, by the way, because you can always just jump on top of your bed and they're just totally helpless. Like if a burglar comes into your home, jump on your bed, you know, just punch them, because they're not going to be able to hit you from up there. Simple as that. Okay, can I select the right burglar? I feel like that's going to be my problem, is that one of these burglars is now wasted. No, there we go, cool. Okay, got some money, we restored our reputation. Let's see upstairs what we got. That's the HGA patented burglar killing methods. Burglar killing method. I really am tired. Okay, let's see. Nothing up here again. Is it just this layout of house that's like not worth anything? Okay, that's a shame. The burglar hydra there, the 3-headed burglar. Oh, hang on. Whoa. My goodness. Absolute pandemonium. Come on, this really isn't necessary. We can be friends. No, we can't, okay. This is such a perilous, why did I save here? This is so perilous. Okay, we can do this, it's so easy. So easy. I think one knife stab was enough as well. Quickly bandage. Okay. Okay, that time. Take all his guts. And then I'm just gonna creep back down and see if we can exploit any more of these, this terrible, terrible violence. Obviously, you don't wanna see that, but we're gonna take advantage of it anyway. Come on, there we go. That's the attack you want to have come out, like the overhead swing. Like if they do the quick stab, I don't know if there's not much chance of you actually being able to avoid that. And as far as I'm aware, there's not much point taking on the, like, arsonists just with your fists, but the patrolmen are pretty good at doing it, evidently. Just take all his guts. I reckon we'll... Do I dare try one more house? This one's locked. Oh, this one's in a safe district, okay. We'll have a quick look in here, shall we? hang on. Ugh. It is only in that one layout of house, though, that like the distance between the bed and the wall is enough. Maybe this one won't work. There is like other furniture you can clip on into some houses, like the table. You can jump up onto tables in some places, but I think those are harder to clip onto than the beds. And as you can see, the combat in Pathologic is perfectly balanced. Okay, I actually might be screwed in this one. I think I've... Can I jump on anything in here? Oh, I can jump on their head, but that didn't help. Okay, let's try that one more time. There's got to be a house in here we can exploit for more money. Surely. How about this one? I'll try it anyway. No, this is another one of these houses. Maybe we can get up. Yeah, we can. Okay, we can. A bit trickier, but we can. Oh, there's two of them down here. Good thing I found this bed. These are, like, they're such lethal enemies for this game. Like, they punch so fast, and they have this dodge move that none of the other enemies in the game have, I don't think. And obviously you only fight them with, like, one or two rare exceptions in closed spaces like this, so there's no way to get away from them. Like, they're relentless. You either need a gun or you need to do stuff like this, which obviously, like, I feel vaguely guilty about, but it's funny, so, you know, like, I feel like it balances out. Let me just move over this way. I'm just gonna draw them. Well, I was gonna draw them to me, but I guess not. Okay, come on. Don't tell me you're stuck. You can do it. I'm glad at least they seem relatively incapable of hitting me. Okay. It's them. Come on. Target the other one. What is this? I was trying to avoid this exact problem. Come on. It's just highlighting just that one. There we go. Cool. Let's have a little loot. Artemi is living up to his butcher reputation. Nothing in this house. What the heck? Anyone upstairs? Or was that the person from upstairs who came down? Oh, a lemon. Goodness. I'm rolling in it. A needle. Well, I know I have enough needles to trade for a schmouder without having to worry about anything else, but I need to find someone with a schmouder first. Yeah, they picked this house clean, that's for sure. Well, that was kind of a waste of time, but... Oh no, hang on, there's a third floor. This is where things get dangerous, right? Yeah. Can I clip into any of these bits? Just out of curiosity. Where am I? Whoa. This works, right? This is the gameplay you all came here to see. And the analysis, you know, like we're looking down on everyone who's beneath us. Oh, yeah, there was no way I was going to pull that off. I couldn't actually hit them from there. Let's try that again. The stream is just all over the place, tone-wise. What am I doing? Who knows? But I am a professional, trust me. Okay, let me see. What's in this room? Can I jump on this? No. Incapable. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. That's my new catchphrase. I'll put that on a t-shirt as well. Let's try that again. Let's do that again. One more time. There's probably not going to be anything up here anyway. I'll just come up here, lead them down the stairs. Oh, no! Oh. I'd lead them down the stairs if I could play video games. That's what I would do. This is legitimately the last try. I feel like there's not going to be anything up here that's worth this much suffering, but one more try. Step onto the top floor. Retreat, retreat, retreat. There we go, perfect. Just escaped them as well. Try and get them over here and see if I can hit them from here. Oh, they're panicking. Oh, they're trying to intimidate me. But it won't work. Yeah, this is probably the best one I can get here. There we go, perfect. You only need to hit them 3 times, but like in a normal combat scenario, like they're gonna hit you like enough times to decimate your entire health bar. And there's often, like 3 of them in every house. It just doesn't make much sense to take them on without using such incredible strategies as I utilize. Okay, no, we got a few things here. That's alright. No, not really any food though. Still kind of food deprived, but at least we got a bunch of crowbars now as well that we can trade for food with the patrolmen with. Nope, nothing in there. Okay, what are my stats looking like? What I'll do now is go and okay, morning of the 6th day has come. It all ends in less than 7 days. The emissary arrives tomorrow. Yeah, what we can do is actually go and like lie down unless we just received a letter from someone. Day 6, by the end of which the Haruspex finds out just how important a role mythical creatures can play in our lives. Anna Angel's invitation. You must be very angry with the poor singer. So unfair. Regardless of what libel the Bachelor is spreading about me, I'm simply too afraid to plot any manner of mischief. There's a lot going on right now. This terrifying child, this angel of death, has descended to my humble abode. She won't leave. I think she is hiding somewhere in the house at this very moment. The healing saint doesn't look as saintly as she used to. Not a supreme judge, but rather the opposite. She is exhausted, ragged, and worn out. Her clothes are soaking wet as though she's been crying for a week. If this is you she is trying to hide from, then come and take her. I will hold her, at least until the evening. Yours as may be, AAA. Okay, so that's actually really close, so that's kind of fortuitous. So we'll go and see Anna then. See how we can help. And then yeah, we can race all the way through to day 7, which will be incredible progress in just 2, 3 hours, probably at the most, depending on how long this takes. But I feel like we've made some pretty good progress. I might pop into the pharmacist that's on the road up here to the right first and see if they have anything that's not too pricey. If they have one of those bandage kits, it might not hurt. and then I also did want to see... That's really expensive. I don't have a bandage kit today, though. I'll just leave that for now. Okay, let's go this way. See Anna in the Willows Manor here. See what we can do to help her out. What does she need? How can we help? Angel of Death. My god, it's the most terrifying creature I've ever seen. The Bachelor's Invitation, Bull's antibodies. Now, previous observations were supported. The steppe people do indeed die of the same disease. What a pity. The blood of a human can cope with the bacteria up to a point, but the antibodies are not nearly powerful enough to clear the infection. Even the antibodies contained in the blood of a steppe person won't suffice to eliminate the sickness. The disease acts much faster than human organisms can react. I have another idea how to handle it, though. Perhaps today we will discover a new material with which the panacea can be made. Come see me and we will discuss the matter. Daniel Dankovsky. Okay, I'll just save it here. This absolutely incredible screenshot is just radiating energy of a certain kind.
I'm so tired, I might faint.
I know exactly how you feel, honestly.
I'm so tired, I might faint.
Yep, no, you just said that. Oh woe, oh woe, woe is me. Is it possible that even the deceitful creatures, the evil darksiders, those who are always seeking to provide a disservice to a man, is it possible that even they have turned their backs on me? What are you talking about? I've had a disagreement with the rat prophet, so he's hiding from me now, telling me nothing. I need to hear a few words from him about me, now that I'm persecuted and hated. I need it more than ever. What is my fortune? What is to become of me? Why have I come to this world? You said yourself that he was a liar. Why do you need him? Oh, I need someone. Anyone. Oh, Burak, I have helped you, haven't I? You've made another step towards making a panacea, haven't you? Could you help me out too? Do me a favour in return? What do you want? Let's outsmart him. Go see him as though on your own. He won't say no to you. Pretend to hate me and ask him about my fortune. What happens to me tomorrow? But most importantly, who am I? Why have I come to this world? Got that? Will you help me? I don't even know where to find him. He lives under the theatre, or even inside it. That face gets me every time. Burak, Haruspex, sir, please, please be kind, please get to him. Oh, if only you knew how I suffer. I'm lonely and in pain. Okay, I'll ask him. We'll go do that. We'll also talk to Anna.
What do you want from us?
Who are you? I'm just making the rounds. I'm Artemi Burak. Oh, I know. You're that terrible killer who everyone's been after these days. The Ripper. That's who you are, right? No, I'm not a Ripper.
What do you all want from us?
I am scared of you after all. And what's this girl doing here? Shh. See how shabby she is? So it wasn't you who made her so anxious, was it? She deserves it, though. She deserves nothing but gloating. Why is that? It's because the girl must have given someone a hard time recently. She has a funny talent. She can look into people's souls and turn them inside out. Seems like someone did the same to her. Hey, could it be that there's two of them? What is her? Her head does something really funny. And one of them has found the other? Or maybe she's just looked into a mirror. Into a mirror? No, of course she hasn't even come close to a mirror. Otherwise she'd have seen what she looks like and tidied herself up. Should I get her some mascara, maybe? She looks ugly as sin. Stop being so nasty. The whole town is after a witch once again. They're hunting the Shabnak Adder. Who is she? Not this wretched gal, that's for sure. You know what? You should get into the termitary and find the man-eater. What if she's hiding there? I'm pretty sure she is. The Bachelor thinks so too, and so does Lara. Most importantly, so does the Mistress. There's plenty of time. Okay, so on the way over to see Daniel, we can stop by the Rat Prophet and say hi once again. We just met them yesterday. Let's see if they have anything insightful and new to say. Really am, yeah, running out of healing items here, which is starting to worry me a little bit. But I do still have lots of money, so if it comes down to it, we can purchase some expensive medicine. It's going to be the best way to go. Try this way. Yeah, I'm trying to what else have I been playing that I haven't mentioned already? Not much, I don't think. Not much outside of what I've been streaming. Oh, I've been trying to play Dragon's Dogma 2 recently, which is a curious game. Had some really wonderful like horror moments in the dark. But other than that, kind of the writing, I think. Like these days I look for a game that has really solid writing, and even though I'm having a lot of fun with the game mechanics of Dragon's Dogma, I do feel like there is something missing. And I think that thing missing is like a coherent narrative, which is a shame. I guess like the narrative exists, but it's not very well told. It doesn't really mesh with the game's mechanics at all, which is a shame. But that's the other kind of thing I'm wondering about, because I write all these blog posts or these entries about these kinds of games that I am playing at the moment. But I am thinking, and I have been thinking about this for a while, of adapting a number of these blog posts, the ones I'm really happy with, into videos. Maybe that would be a good way to sort of get back on the video editing train, is to sort of turn a number of these short articles into short videos, and that way people are actually sort of reading those or experiencing those, because I do put a lot of work into them. I really do try my best to make them interesting and insightful, but it is harder to promote the website than it is to promote like YouTube videos or streams, obviously. Did you come to listen to your father? He won't talk to you. You've displeased him, and I cannot summon him. That is not within my power. I've come to ask you about someone else's fortune. Well, go ahead. There's no harm in asking. There is a girl in the town, Clara. Tell me, who is she? Why did she come to this world? And what's to become of her? Oh, I see. So it was she who sent you here. Pfft. Her fault. She should have known it's no good trying to force the development of the plot. I'll tell you who she is. She is, as a matter of fact, the disease. Sand plague personified. No, I don't believe you. But, heads up, she doesn't know it. And so she performs miracles, branding herself a miracle maker, because she believes that she is one. She's got great power in her. Everything she believes in comes true. And so she'll forget how to do it as soon as she learns the truth. That's why I'm doing my best to avoid her. You lie, you schemer. Whatever. I'm not the one coming here and asking questions. You've asked, and so I've answered, like I'm some kind of fortune teller. Whoever has eyes, let them see. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Whoever has the heart, let them make a choice. Leave me alone. Farewell. The girl is not as simple as she seems. It makes me wonder if each of us might prove to be a different person by the end of the day. Besides, the rat prophets seem to be telling the truth. Should I reveal this truth to Clara? This decision will take some careful consideration. Fate has burdened me with a difficult choice. And I do like this, like Artemi being the one to make this choice, because it is clear in this campaign they don't really like each other. But all of a sudden, he is in charge of basically how Clara perceives herself, and obviously fairly heavy responsibility. Do you believe the Rat Prophet? If you haven't played through anyone else's campaign, you're like, well, this girl might seem slightly strange, but she can't be the plague. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I trust a rat in a suit? All these kinds of questions. So I'm not sure what I'll pick in this playthrough. I suppose we'll soon find out when I get there. I'll toss a coin or something. But no, I probably will tell the truth. I'll force the development of the plot, as the Rat Prophet said. I like the subtle little fourth wall breaks, that kind of thing. It's been a while since I've done any readings on Brecht, but he's the playwright who is often cited by Haruspex Lodge themselves as inspiring at least some of the mechanics of the game, or at least the game world and how the game world functions. Okay, come on. What I also find interesting is, people have such a solemn reaction to this district in particular becoming infected. They see it, particularly I guess on everyone's first playthrough, because they always see it as their home, their safe district. Everyone goes back and sleeps in Ava's place as the Bachelor. So when it becomes infected, it's this profound moment. People have left any number of comments saying the same thing on the soundtrack videos on my channel. I find it interesting how we get so attached, and when that routine is shattered again, that's when the horror comes to the forefront, and we're really quite upset and disturbed by what we see, that we've failed, even though there was nothing we could do, obviously, to prevent it. Yesterday's experiment produced mixed results. It was helpful to me. We've managed to grab the bacteria by the tail, so the vaccine will become available to the general public soon. Well, I'm glad Notkin was able to help you. But the usefulness of living blood for serum production is partial. Are there antibodies in it? There are. They are even quite efficient in exterminating the disease. But the antibodies get annihilated in the process too, and the disease reproduces rapidly, so they're not enough. The final result is rather disappointing. In order to overcome the sickness, cells need to either suppress the development of the disease or produce 1,000 times more antibodies. So what do? Let's try the proven method. We should introduce the disease to bulls and see what happens next. I've been eyeing the animal kingdom for a while now. Epidemics have been connected to cattle since the dawn of time, and our local cattle are so inaccessible, they're guarded so vigilantly, that I'm not even sure where to begin. If bulls were the cause of this, it would have all started with a murrain. Why are you so sure there was none? I think we would have been able to tell. There would have been smoke and unbearable stench filling the town. Well, perhaps they don't get sick at all. All the more reason to check them. Do try it. Make a blood extract and introduce it to a bull. We'll see how its blood reacts to this unexpected turn of events. Thankfully, we do have a bacteria sample now. Have you found a use for it? I have. The vaccine is ready. But I'm talking about your work. The plan is straightforward. Not so sure. Let's just let us repeat yesterday's test. Make an extract, infect a bull, wait a bit and get a blood sample. I think the result is going to be quite enlightening. I'll try to find a bull. Hopefully they haven't all been eaten by now. Okay. The Bachelor was unable to recover the necessary antibodies from human blood. The panacea can't be made from this kind of material. Time to try the same with the bulls. Most of the cows were slaughtered to prevent a famine. I wonder if even a single animal was left alive. Okay, so the first place to check, I guess, is out in the steppe. How you doing, Ava?
What?
You have wolf's eyes. Stop giving me that look. What's your name? There's no reason for you to call me by my name. Then I should probably give you a funny nickname.
What's going on in the termitary?
Fine, I'm leaving. Save it again. Okay. What's the best way to go? Go out this way. Gonna trust I don't get infected. Excuse me. Don't mind me. Can you guys quit it? Seriously? Gotcha. I love the like the way that the sort of zombie trope, I suppose, is like weaponized against you, because really, like, these are just people who are looking for sympathy. They just want a hug, sort of driven insane by pain, and they're just after some, you know, some physical, you know, attention, some comfort, and of course, when you provide that comfort, you get infected with the disease. I just think it's a really nice way to do it. Sort of weaponize a person's sympathy. And I feel like they could have gone further with that. Obviously, something that could have been expanded upon. Of, like, yeah, really playing up the pain that these people are in, and maybe getting a reputation boost from helping them out somehow. But yeah, I don't know how else I would have done it. I feel the smell of blood. You have with you the blood of a person that is not with you, right? You have a keen nose. How much blood do you need? Isn't I who needs it? The earth does. Yeah, take the blood. Give me some herbs, worm. I just have all the hearts. Wait, how much is this for? It's equivalent exchange rate. Alright, perfect. Okay. So we need to find where we can get a ball from. At the same time, we can also circle back around to Anna. Who's this? Clara's invitation. The time has come for us to look each other in the eye. Come to Grace's lodge. I'll be waiting for you there. It came to my attention that you intend to open up a ball. Curious as to what's inside? Okay, so get to see Clara and Changeling in the same day, which I like. The plot thickens in regards to their true identity. If I'd played, I played through the campaigns in the recommended order the first time round, so I was certainly interested to learn anything new about Clara that I could. I think she's just an incredibly interesting character. And I do really hope that she does one day get her time to shine. Like, it would be such a shame if Clara didn't get her own revamped route. I feel like she's the character who's often overlooked. Most people really are like either sort of more fans of Bachelor or more fans of Haruspex, but I don't know. It feels rarer to sort of hear people be like, Changeling's my favourite. But, I love Changeling. She's such a cool character. She's got so much interesting stuff happens in her campaign. And there's so much... the way that she's deployed in these narratives and the other characters' campaigns is also really interesting, I think. As this figure who's uncertain of herself and her role in the narrative, and she's just trying to work that out. And we're given that chance to show her role in the narrative as well. That's part of today's side quest, right? Who is the Changeling? The Changeling is the plague. Do we want to tell her that? Well, that's up to you. It's do you feel, it's your right to tell her that information? Is that going to ruin things? Is it going to make things worse? Is she going to become vengeful? Stop even trying to help? Is her helping what's caused this whole thing in the first place? Raises all these questions, and Clara sort of seems to be this unknowable being, but then when you play as her, she's really she's a person who just also wants a family, wants affection. She was born from a graveyard, and is really just struggling through life, struggling to shed this reputation that she's a witch. Or an evil spellcaster who's spreading the plague, and it's obviously this her being defined in that way causes her to try and define herself against it, and she seems to have some sort of sway over the game world itself, because she's I have a sister, and when she says that, the sister becomes real, or so it's implied, and there's all these so many interesting facets to Clara that are often understandably overlooked because most people don't get around to playing as her, and most people focus on the relationship that Automi has with Daniil, which is totally understandable. I love both those characters and their relationship, but it's a shame that it feels to me anyway Changeling is often left out of the conversation. Even though she was the character that I've always wanted to know more about. I always felt I could read Haruspex and The Bachelor pretty easily. I was okay, I know who these people are. And I love their character development. I was I know who these people are and what they're doing in the story. But Changeling, even Changeling doesn't know what she's doing in the story. Which I find, so fascinating. Okay, hello. Just save it here for another just fantastic photo full of such energy.
I'm so tired, I might faint.
I bumped into someone just before who was telling me that. So here you are, yet my chest hasn't been cut open. Would you rather just turn me in? Neither. Why are you so angry? That's good. My friends have denied me. The Sabarovs were calling me their daughter yesterday, and yet today I'm banished from their home. So what do you say? Is this why you wanted to see me? No, I wanted to see you because I know what you're planning to do. You know the lines, don't you? Listen to me then. 2 lines have crossed today. You want to kill a bull, don't you? I don't, but I do need one. I can even tell why you need it. You want to introduce the disease to a bull and see who wins, right? I foretell you a draw. What do you mean? I'm not so sure about that myself, but my feelings rarely deceive me. The eternal drama will unfold here today, but it will be performed poorly, Barak. Have you read the Tales of the Daughters? Remember how Boss Turok has created the wheel, time, and fear? No. Listen then. There was a time when there were neither day nor night, neither top nor bottom, neither sea nor land. There was but one thing in the world, and it was the great bull, the father of flesh, the carver of lions, the bearer of horns, Bos Turok. Up from the abyss came Suok, and she filled the world with herself. She devoured all the stars and all the light. And who was she, the Suok? Oh, don't interrupt. And she devoured the sunlight. Neither fire nor water could harm Suok, neither old age nor the abyss itself. It was darkness then. Bos Turok, the great bull, had frozen in the darkness. His cry was strong enough to pierce it, but it couldn't pierce Suok. She spread herself further, and there was the darkness once again. I think I know of the story. And so Bos Turok, in his despair, opened his mouth horizon to horizon, and started devouring Suok. Oh, how she struggled, trying to flee back to the abyss. And yet she came to be devoured by Bos Turok, bit by bit. To this day she is inside of him, trying in vain to consume him from within his tight embrace. That's some story. Intriguing, huh? There's more to it. I can feel you moulding this tale out of clay. You want to feed the disease to a bull to see whether it can overcome it or not. That would serve me well. If you succeed, everyone will leave me alone. Want me to help you? Yeah, fine. Then your way lies towards the short block of the termitary. A very important person will be waiting for you there. She's the Mother Superior, the focus of the kin's life and will. It is only she and no one else who's in charge of the termitary these days. If you two manage to get along, she'll give you a bull. See you at the short block then. Now, it's all coming back to me. I think I've just realized something terrible. Is that I should have been collecting yellow tablets. But I think in my head, I've had this thought several times during this playthrough. I'm like, okay, did I do that as the Bachelor or not? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But it's the Haruspex, isn't it, who needs the 50 alpha tablets. I think that's about to come back and bite me in the ass, that I've totally neglected that quest. But we are about to find out, at any rate, just how screwed I am and how much of my fortune I'm going to have to squander on buying up alpha tablets. But it's going to be a lot, isn't it? It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a shame. The other thing I want to remember is, like when the ring opens, like when do you get to fight people in the ring again? It's been it's been too long since I played this. I'll see if anyone wants to trade with me anyway. On the way, maybe someone will have a couple spare alpha tablets that will save me 250 coins. Nope. I love the shift of music from like the step, which is so lively, and then you have just this like really subdued, quiet music in the Eastern District. I think the music in this district is just called District. Very, very staid, very boring, but nonetheless, it sets the mood perfectly, I think. Whoa. It really does the job. At least the rat, right? At least the rat isn't like the guard. It can't punch me in the back of the head. I think. Okay. Check in here. Gotta climb all the way out these stairs. This is like just to waste your time. There is no other excuse for this. Like, why does everyone in this building decide to wait up the top of these stairs? Let's have a meeting. Let's like make you sprint up. Have 8 flights of stairs or something. It is something horrible. Don't fall down either, that would be bad. Okay. Totally unnecessary. Panting and wheezing as we reach the top. Yeah, this is definitely the 50. I can't believe I got this confused.
Misfortunes never come alone. That's what Daddy used to say.
So nice of you to come at this hour, Warden. Got any vitamins? Vitamins? The yellow pills, they burn your liver but protect from the disease. Haven't you heard? Did you go away to study smart things? I've heard of them. I need 50 vitamin pills. Precisely 50. 5 times 10. It's so that those who are planning to go inside don't get infected. Then you shall fall into my graces. I need a bull, Mother. I don't have a bull right now. They've taken all my lovely cows away from me. The white, the silver, the red-eared, the black-eyed, the tender. They've taken all my bulls away from me. The steel-horned, the copper and stone and jasper-hooved. But I can tell you where to get another bull. What's going on here? I myself live in the long block now. It's across from here, get it? Haven't been to this one before, and I really need to get upstairs. But I can't go alone. It was to carry me so that I don't mar my shoes. My servants, the kind children of Bodo, need protection too. Why do you need to get there? To get the healthy out. Get it? Many of them haven't fallen sick yet, but they wouldn't go anywhere without me. They're scared. I see, and you'll grant me a bull for that? Right. I'll show you where this bull is bellowing, just the kind you need. His sides steep, his forehead marked with a star, his coat plated, his horns so far apart that 4 odongs could walk between them. A lovely little bull. Fine, even 100 pills would be a good deal for such a bull. Right, time to go shopping. Hopefully I have enough money. How many pills do I already have? 14. I still need a lot of pills. It's so annoying. Like I had this thought like in previous streams as well. I'm like, isn't this the one where you need like 50 alpha tablets? And I don't know why I was like, no, surely not. Like, surely this isn't the one. I don't know why I thought that. Was it because I played the Bachelor's one so long ago and just got it totally confused? I don't know. But at any rate, that's what we have to do now, is buy a lot of alpha tablets and waste all of our money on alpha tablets, because this little girl holds the entire fate of the town in her hands, and we can hardly disagree with her now. Okay, let's go. $50 alpha tablets, what were they thinking? It's such a cruel demand, so easy to fail. This is why, yeah, Artemis is definitely the hardest campaign, is that the demands placed on you as a player are much higher than in the other two. I know Changeling's health meter, or reputation, sorry, going down constantly is meant to be like a severe challenge, but it's really not. Like, as long as you're killing robbers, you're basically always on top of it. There's not really anything to worry about, but yeah, it gets... Artemis one gets dodgy, and this isn't even the dodgiest. Like, I don't remember this bit being hard. Just annoying. It's the bits after this that get much more frustrating. Okay, just need another 25 more. Okay, where's the next one? There's one there, and there's one there. I'll go to this one. Let's see. Oh, can't pick up anything else. Just these stupid alpha tablets. Such a demand. It would also be nice if this girl had a schmouder, because then I could immediately deliver that to Notkin, or yeah, I'll probably just deliver it immediately to him, to be honest. But you have an alpha tablet, you know what? Like, I'll take it. It's money in the bank. But my luck is, yeah, not great. At least theoretically, since I'm playing as Artemis, I'll be able to get a panacea, right? At least one panacea. Okay, 11 more. Okay. 13 more to go, which is still an unfortunate amount. I need at least 2 more, right? Goodness, I can feel my throat getting scratchy. Okay, there's another one up here. I really don't want to cross the bridge though. Hoping can I please just find like a bunch more little children and give them a bunch of needles, and you know, everything will be fine. It'll be fabulous. Bandage. Infections, yeah, starting to do me in here. Okay. So wasteful. So wasteful. 2 more to go. And all of this is just going to go straight into the pockets of a character who is just going to use them off screen. It's just crushing. Okay, there's another little child. Hopefully that's all. They have all I need. Would be nice. A child. Let's butter. 2. There you go. Still need 1 more though, right? No, that was 50. Okay, cool. For some reason I thought I had 47. I don't know why. See if this person has any bandages. And there's another girl. Please have Schmauder. That's all I'm asking for at this point. 1 Schmauder. I have everything I need to trade for it. And more. I just need someone to actually be carrying some. Hello. Oh. No Schmauder. Okay, well then I'll go in here, leave, and then walk back the way I came in the hopes that another couple of children will spawn and I'll be able to just at least try one more time and see if anyone has any schmauters. Really is, yeah, I really have missed like streaming and just rambling on like this. It's been, yeah, it's definitely been like a hole in my routine this year. I've definitely felt it. Like, it just so happens that, yeah, like I'm not in a position where my internet is good enough frequently to stream as well, which is part of the problem. So many technical difficulties, and so I really have to like have the perfect conditions to stream. Which is why I'm grateful for this alternative setup that just requires that I have the time. Okay, let's see. Come on. Please someone with a Schmauder spawn. Even just the potential to have a Schmauder. That's all I'm asking. No, it's the boy. And where's the... no. Bad luck again, I think. That's right. Well, we'll go back and see Anna anyway. Kick other Changeling out of her house. Theoretically get a reward, maybe. And then I shall go deliver these 50 pills. And yeah, we're almost through the main quest of day 6. And probably just, yeah, like sleep through to day 7 and then leave it there, I reckon. But it'll be, yeah, incredible progress. I wasn't expecting to make this much progress when I started the stream today. We haven't been doing too bad, really. Still on top of things for now. Still have how much money? 18,000. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And we've got a number of barterable materials. We just need a Schmauder to crop up. That's really the main thing. Okay. Greetings, friend. Can I interest you in a healthy dose of the truth?
What?
I've spoken to the rat. Well, what did he say? He said that you're the personification of the plague. A she-plague. A creature of darkness. Oh god. Really? Are you telling the truth? Could he have lied to you? I've told you everything I planned to. What did you give me? A recipe. What What is the recipe? 92 to 24. It's not bad, but I don't really have anything I
You've changed.
want to drop for it, to be honest.
Am I imagining things?
I'll drop the flowers, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Can I get my hands on a ball? Shame it's not the Wonder Ball. Who is the best character in Pathologic 2, by the way? I won't have anyone telling me otherwise. Time to climb 8 flights of stairs again. And roll my eyes while doing so. Wondering the futility of this game. And why it hates me so. No, I've already been over why it hates me. Because it loves to present mundane things and to make you do these repetitive actions over and over again to really drill in just how futile your situation is. Like you carry out the same acts over and over again, making you sort of feel more, you're going more insane, you're more frustrated with the people of this stupid town. Why are they doing this? Why can't anything be easy? That's really the grand question when it comes to this game. The grand question: why are they doing this to me? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, only 5, not 8, but still way too many stairs. Okay, I bought you your 50 pills. Here you go.
What?
Precisely 50 pills. Then let's go, all of you. Come quick. And just look how much time we've lost. As for you, Warden, listen to me. When you come out of here, go past the long block, straight to the abattoir. Cut through the town, then walk out into the steppe, then along the abattoir wall to the left. You know where the Rag-Eye Barrow is? I think I've seen it. The Odong will bring a bull there. I'll tell the worms to obey you. Prove to them that you are you, and the bull is yours. Do with him what you will. How do I prove to them that I am me? They'll ask you simple questions. Who knows? What if you don't know how to handle bulls at all? What if you upset him or hurt him? No, a test is required. What are they going to ask me about? Bulls, probably. What else could be of interest to them? I don't know. Okay, I'll find a way to persuade them. What did I get here? The recipe. 100 to 9. It's actually better than the one I have. But wait, what does it take? 1 stem of black, just 1 stem of brown. Yeah, I'll just take that one. Okay, down the 5 flights of stairs. Always with the tests, you know. There's never. It's not like 50 pills was, you know, like hard to get my hands on or anything like that. Could have bankrupted me or anything. No, I have to defend myself. Okay. So we're allowed to go through the abattoir already, are we? Or are we not? Well, the implication was that we could, right? And skirt along the outside wall. But possibly not. No, not yet. Okay, I'm gonna go back through town. Nothing is ever easy. And we shall finish the quest, hopefully. And I will finish the stream, and that will be me done for the year, stream-wise. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any other time to squeeze in a stream, but I mean, if I do, I'd love to. But that will be totally random and out of the blue, I imagine. So I can't promise anything. For safety's sake, you know, say this is the last one for 2024. Which I'm pretty sure I started 2024 streaming Pathologic, didn't I? Or maybe it was like Pathologic and Silent Hill, I think, the first Silent Hill. I think is how I started this year. Which was a long time ago. A lot has happened since then. It's It's been an insane year, shall we say, to be generous with my phrasing. Been crazy. A lot's happened. A lot happens every year, I suppose, but this year felt particularly difficult to get through, so I'm hoping some more creative stuff in 2025 will sort of rejuvenate me, inspire me once again. Okay, let's go to the Rag-Eye Barrow and see what questions they have for me. Better be good questions, that's all I'm saying. Thoughtful questions about Pathologic and analyzing Pathologic. Okay. Let's see. I seem to recall you get a little cutscene here as well, I think, if you do everything correctly. I don't know, wait. There we are. I'm pretty sure you hear Isidor's voice up here as well, if I remember correctly. Well, you do sometimes anyway. I really love this, yeah, ascending the stairs to meet these two characters partake in a ritual. Do you want to open up a ball for us? Yes. Have you bought the gruel, the seed of Suok, to feed him before the ritual? What is Suok's gruel? Is that a question? Do you not know how fear came to be? I do. Tell us. Boast Turok had belched fear from within his depths to exgorge his pain. Boast Turok had forged iron from his horns to set the law and shut Suok to eternal imprisonment within his maw. Boss Turok had conjured up the wheel with his thoughts, though all destined to return to the beginning. You've spoken well. Hero and Oinon, feed him the gruel, give him the seed of Suok, and open him up. Liberate his Rag-Eye lines. I'm on it. Okay, so we need an infected heart, which I do have. I left it in the lying next to my bed. So let's go and grab that. It's 12:35. Okay, yeah, we can do this. Just mosey past them as well. Just a little bit more walking. Just holding down W. Just doing my job. It's really hard. Don't thank me too fast for playing through such a difficult experience. Yes, I hold W and occasionally move the mouse. Well, actually, I am holding down A and D sometimes as well, depending on if I want to move diagonally. You know, when I'm really feeling fancy. That's when I bust out the incredible moves and strategies that are required to play this game. Okay, let's grab this infected heart that I hope I left in here and didn't like throw out somewhere, but I swear I remember leaving it somewhere. Right, here we are. Right, let's put everything else away. Now, do I have to... I had to make it into gruel, didn't I? I run it through here, right? We've got two, so at the very least... wait. Do I have any other infected organs? No, put that away. Got this. Can I mix the heart and the kidney together? Or does it have to be... What does it have to be? A healthy organ? What am I missing? No, it needs to be a tincture, doesn't it? Do I still have one of those? Yes. Yeah. Dead gruel. Cool. I'll feed that to the bull. I can't believe I forgot how to play the game, even though I was just saying that, you know, like it was so easy. Once again, just my hubris. It's like a Greek tragedy over here. Okay, let's wander back. We can do this. We can finish this day. And then I should probably go, because my voice is really starting to give up the ghost already. I don't know why this happens to me every time. Every time I'm like, I'm going to do a really long stream, my body's like, well, actually no you're not, because you're developing a cold, or you're really tired, or you have stuff to do. And just, yeah, like I was really hoping to like stream all day, but I can't really do that at the moment with my current levels of stamina. But I'm just so glad I was able to come down today and do it anyway. Like yesterday I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, maybe I won't, maybe I'm gonna wake up really sick, but I woke up well enough to stream for at least 3 hours, which I'm really happy with. It's just really good to stream again. I find it fulfilling. I feel like at least I'm doing something. Done something today. No one has called for me. I came on my own. No, okay. Let's do this. Alright, the bull's down. Can take the bull's blood. Anything else to say? We'll wait for your hour to come, Moinon. Go home. Okay, and now we can return to the Bachelor, I think, right? And I don't think there's anything else. Unless... No, wait, let's go to Clara first. She helped us get this ball, maybe she has something else to say. Sorry, I'm just trying to quench my thirst and make my throat slightly less sore, so I can actually finish the stream and not just leave it arbitrarily in the middle of a field. No, she's already gone. Okay. Let's go back then to the Bachelor, and hopefully he'll be satisfied with the bull's blood and I haven't forgotten to do something really important with it. And I'll just sleep in his bed, skip to the next day. And yeah, we will have progressed from day 4 all the way to day 7, which is incredible progress. And yeah, I'm hoping maybe I can open the year with a longer stream, depending on how I feel. Because yeah, to be able to knock out Pathologic Haruspex in just a few streams would be incredible. Definitely moving through his campaign faster than I have anyone else's. And that's partially just because I feel like at this stage there's obviously still a lot of really fascinating stuff to say about the game, but I've said like a lot of the general stuff in previous playthroughs, so like moment to moment, like here's what the process of walking around is like, here's what this means in a broader like story level perspective that happens to every character. So to a certain extent, like, we are going through the motions, and I guess I am showing off to anyone who hasn't played through original Haruspex I am showing off what his campaign is like, but I also don't know if I'm providing through this one as much illumination as I might have been. Though I also feel like I'm a better streamer than I was as well when I started this project, which I think was at the end of 2022. I started playing through Bachelor, which is an incredible amount of time ago, like actually really scary, 2 years ago. So it will be nice to finally sort of round off the Pathologic Classic HD analysis stream. And I feel like as well, Pathologic's been such a good one to stream with, because it has not only these gameplay rhythms that I'm really familiar with, so I know when I can talk and when I need to sort of focus more intently on something, but also just the gameplay rhythms themselves feel really conducive to me to analyzing stuff. I can talk about things at length without worrying about a character's voiceover being cut off, or these kinds of things. I'm trying to show off a game and the character keeps talking over me, or I'm talking over the character more accurately, and then I feel whoever's watching is losing something if they're watching to also experience the narrative alongside my thoughts. So I feel like I'm still trying to find that balance on some games, whereas Pathologic feels to me like such an easy game to sort of shift between modes in, right? There's this mode here where I'm just rambling on about anything I can think of, and then there's the storytelling mode, and then there's a more intense gameplay mode, maybe where I'm in combat or something, or I'm really having to think about what I'm going to do next. But that feels really rare at this point, so to have a game that I'm this familiar with, and to be able to evolve as a person over the course of several years, and update my streaming acumen and improve, I feel like it's probably interesting to watch that evolution, to go back and watch my first Bachelor stream, and then watch the one I'm doing now, or even watch the Changeling one, which is sandwiched in the middle, and sort of see how how I've evolved.
Truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil.
Right, you're not going to imagine how much I had to go through to get this, but I've got Ball's Blood for you. Let's see. Yep, time is of the essence.
Truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil.
I love that you can still hear him talking. Okay.
I'm tired. I've had enough.
What do you say? Well, it's obvious now why balls don't get infected. Their antibodies do nothing to destroy the bacteria, but rather block them, suppressing their reproduction. They possibly die after a while, and even if they don't, the disease is still no longer lethal. Perhaps it becomes assimilated. And the conclusion is, ideally, you need some hybrid of bull and man. Human antibodies kill the bacteria, whereas bull antibodies prevent them from reproducing. But a creature like that doesn't exist. Yeah, I know, so you're out of luck, as am I. Could we maybe synthesize it artificially by combining human and bull tissues? We could try. Unfortunately, Rubin is nowhere to be found. We'll do the test if he comes back. I'll let you know. I'll be waiting. Cool, so it seems that a panacea can't even be made from the blood of a beast. Tomorrow will tell, but I have a bad feeling about it. The Bachelor is convinced that the experiment was a failure. Okay, cool, so do I have anything to eat? Not really. Milk and not much else, but I do need to sleep. How much health do I have? Not much either. Let's see if I can juggle this correctly. So, bandage. Yeah, we'll have that. Try and reduce the infection here. And then Novocaine. And then sleep for 6 hours, and then we'll run and get something from a butcher's late at night. Okay, we've got a letter from someone. Victor Kane's invitation. The man who stole my brother's body gave himself up today. It is our utmost desire now to atone for the unjustified suspicions we had of you. I hope you will acknowledge the dreadful state that the Kane family was in, after Simon's untimely demise, that you will find our shortcomings understandable, if not justifiable. Having said that, from now on we will be the first to rise against anyone who dares call you the Ripper. Please come to see us if you bear no ill will. We would like to become better acquainted with you. Respectfully and remorsefully, Victor. Kane. Okay, so we could go do that, I guess. We do also really desperately need something to eat. But I guess I really should have been talking to some of the patrolmen, but we can do that in a second. I'll quickly run and see what Victor wants and whether it's achievable. I honestly can't remember what this quest is. I feel like most of the time we've got like memories come flooding back, but I don't yet recall what's going on with this one. See this thing? Can of vegetables. That's 5, right? Yep. Thank you. Okay, and yep, that's all. Quickly run inside. Really hate the fire bombers, they're so annoying. Okay. Every time I walk in here, I'm like, how did I used to think this was like a hand? It's clearly like a human child upside down. What was I thinking?
Someone's desecrated the stone yard tombs. The scoundrels.
We were alarmed by rumours of an impending act of provocation. Is that perchance what you come to see me about? No. A procession of the infected was supposed to come to the Cape sometime during the day to pay their respects to the sacred graves, but we received news that some murderous blackguards are planning to attack the pilgrims. Have you heard anything about it? No, I haven't heard anything. Hopefully these are merely asinine rumours. Hopefully. Meanwhile, my daughter would like to apologise for all the wrongs our family has inflicted on you. I think you should talk to her. Of late she has been... I've been putting her in charge of making important decisions. She's becoming more and more like her mother. Who was her mother? Of course, you're an outsider, aren't you? If you've never heard of my spouse, the divine Nina, then I'm afraid it won't be easy to explain how important this is, how much it means. How much what means? The fact that my daughter is growing to resemble her by the day. It means that this town will soon have a powerful mistress who will use her primordial, ancient power that comes from the very depths of the earth to stop this cursed pestilence and revive our town for the glory to come. Well, I will go and see your daughter. You have a poetic mind. Did that add? Yeah, that just added something on the map. The Canes are positively in love with me today. Maria herself wants to meet with me. Could I have dreamed of such a blessing 10 years ago? Quickly chow down on a can of vegetables here. Don't really help, you know, better than nothing. Okay. What's Maria got to say to us today? Hello, I know it's late.
I think I'm having fever heat.
I'm sorry that we've been foes for so long, Barak. The quick temper of our family must have been of great discomfort to you. You call that discomfort? I apologize wholeheartedly. I would much rather prefer peace. I've heard that you've done so many worthy deeds that even the feats of ancient warriors pale in comparison. Are you truly so heroic? In spite of the obstacles that you erect in my way...
And then Katerina has an heiress no more.
You couldn't have come at a better time. Would you do me a favour? I'm all ears. I've heard an enraged mob was planning to desecrate the mistress's tombs. And, well, you see, I disobeyed Dr. Dankovsky's orders recently and went outside to speak to my mother. Her tomb is the one that's closer to the Cape. You must have seen it. I don't get it. I bought a gift for my mother then, a diary. A compilation of sentimental memoirs, nothing more, but it's dear to me. When I was a little girl, my mother used to leave me secret notes in it. The letters were seemingly appearing out of nowhere. I believed that the book was talking to me. You need this book? Bring me the diary, Barak. I fear the tomb will end up desecrated. I wouldn't want the diary to be damaged or fall into the wrong hands. Don't worry. Okay, maybe I do vaguely remember this one. There's like a bunch of like fire starters in the area, I think. And I think you can try and sneak past them to get to this tomb, Nina's tomb, right at the end of the Cape here. We'll see. We'll see how we do. We got some space. We'll be able to pick it up. Are they? Are they here? Or do they spawn like after you pick it up? I feel like it's probably that, right? I also love this tomb area. Like, it's just the most foreboding. Like, that tomb over there is open and welcoming, and obviously that's Victoria's tomb, who is obviously herself meant to be open and welcoming. And you have this tomb which is actually, like, closed off from the outside world. So even spatially, like, all the pathologic spaces are just so well thought out, and I can't stop rambling about them. But I just love it. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so there's a crash from outside. Letters to Nina. Bound pieces of paper with 3 different handwritings. Maria's nervous hand, a steady male hand with lines that end abruptly, characteristic of the Canes, and hysteric scribbles, unfinished sentences and words all written with the same ink. They are like screams from the other side. And obviously, like, this serves like a function in gameplay, because this quest, you go inside and then it spawns a bunch of enemies outside, I think. But also just like the way it functions works for the characters as well. Like, it's very clever. Yeah, look at that. So they're already here. I think you can just like sneak around the edge, right? You don't have to bother with them. We've got the book. We can just escape. I don't know, like why you would try, if you even can try to like fight your way through there. It just doesn't seem worth it. So yeah, we'll just run Maria back to her diary, go get some food, and then I guess, since we'll be going out to get the food anyway, after we've slept, we can go and watch this play, and then we'll finish it there, I reckon. That's pretty good progress. Okay, hello.
The caprice
This is
of
what I
a
found
temper
on the
is
gravestone.
even more whimsical than that of fortune.
Better a lean peace than a fat victory. Oh, thank you, Barak, you've done me a priceless favour. Let me reward you for your work, and the dangers that you have undoubtedly faced for my sake. Thank you. 2,000 coins. I guess that's fair, it was pretty easy. But I did spend a lot of money on pills today, so I was kind of hoping she'd recognise that. But that's alright. I'll forgive her somehow. Okay. Let's just wander down here, go to the nearest butcher's, and then probably sleep. Sleep at Lara's, maybe? Or was no, Lara's is just abandoned. It wasn't infected today, I think. I'm getting all the days mixed up in my head now, since that other day ended so abruptly with me being punched in the head a bunch of times. Okay, cool. So when we go here, just buy, whatever we can. Got 20,000 coins still. And then, when I pick it back up next year, I reckon if I book out like another long session, actually do a marathon session, we can get it done. Okay, there's no food today. Great, there's no food. I need to find... Tell you what, I'll just find some patrolmen and hope that they have food on them instead. Because they do still have a bunch of crowbars. Hopefully they have some smoked meat or something that will tide me over. Just I'm gonna avoid that rat as well. How much is this? 5. Away. I don't even have a lockpick, do I? I should have traded for one of those before too. Well, you know what? I reckon I can go in here. And how many hours left? Yeah, look, 3 hours. We can make it through to the next day with just this. Yeah, look at that. That was pretty good. Sleep for 3 hours. And yeah, away we are laughing through to day 7, and we'll go watch this mime performance.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
And we'll also get this nice Inquisitor introduction as well. Such a good cutscene. Never gets old. Fabulous introduction to another fabulous character. Fantastic. Okay, and we're in an infected district. Save it here. See if there's any food that's been miraculously restocked over the last 3 hours. And then yeah, let's go watch this performance, last mime performance of the year. Let's make it a good one. Greetings. Do you have any food? You do. What if we go? Yeah. Take one of each. Thanks. And then yes, do you have any food today? You have some. Not bad price either, actually. I'll take all of that, thank you. And then if I eat that and the vegetables, it'll be sorted for a little while. Say it one more time. Rock on up to the theatre. Which always seems to be the best place to leave it, to be honest, because at least, you know, at least I know that we haven't done anything on that day, like when I next pick it up, which will be probably in about, I guess, a couple of weeks' time. And I might, immediately after the stream, I might have a quick check of my schedule, and then put something in the Twitch calendar, and yes, see what we can do. Oh, I know I'm already infected, but that was just rude. Okay, in we go. Here we go.
Someone could have ended up at that stake today. I was lucky to escape execution. Bachelor was noble enough to let me go.
Unbelievable. Sanpest is not a person. It's been proven. But who is the source? It's not the girl. That much is obvious.
You can escape everyone, even the Inquisitor's vengeful hand. But you can't escape yourself. The Earth Sister is breathing down your neck.
What shall we do?
It feels like the whole world is against me. I can't get this noose off. Is execution unavoidable?
Calm
Stop
down.
moaning.
You can remain a tool, or become a rebel. The choice is yours. Men struggle in nooses, but puppets walk free.
I love that as well. Men struggle in nooses, but puppets walk free. Okay, well, thank you everyone, and you know, thanks for watching and supporting me through this year, which, you know, has not gone to plan, to be perfectly honest. A lot of the stuff I wanted to get made, I just was not in the frame of mind to tackle these things. Really have been through quite a lot this year. But with, you know, the support of friends and family, and, you know, those of you sitting in the audience, you know, I've helped to make it through, and, you know, like, I really am grateful to everyone. And I hope that next year, you know, I can be more present. I can make a lot of really cool stuff, and hopefully, inspire you to make your own stuff as well. That's really what I want to be here for, is to inspire discussion and analysis and creation, and to inspire, faith in humanity, just like we were talking about before. I really do appreciate your support. If you are watching this and you have watched this silly stream all the way through, whether you're watching it now or watching it, days, weeks, months, years in the future, somehow, I hope that, you have enjoyed this journey, and I hope that you'll, continue to stick with me as I continue to explore and expand and do all these really fun and exciting things. So yeah, just know that, like, even if I'm not, like, actively responding, like, I do read comments, I do see all these things, I check, to see how well my videos are doing and that kind of thing, and I do just really appreciate it, like, all the lovely feedback I receive and everyone's support. So I do really appreciate it. So hope everyone has a good end of 2024. There's my voice giving out right now, and I hope to see you next year. Happy holidays, everyone, and a happy new year. And make sure not to catch the sand plague. It's not looking so good for me right now. It's going to be an absolute disaster when I pick this back up. I can't wait.